Is this being recorded?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't think Jeffrey Epstein killed himself.
Okay.
I don't know who that is.
Really?
That's more surprising.
I don't think he killed himself either.
My mother thinks I'm a conspiracy theorist because I was talking about the undercover cops in Minneapolis.
Dude, I don't know if it's real. I saw someone post a picture. They were like using like child soldiers or some shit.
Oh,
We immediately went into politics.
Okay, yeah, you know what? Maybe we need
Any
to.
time at all.
and they're right.
I missed everything that just happened, but what was I was just gonna say something. Oh, by the way, heads up, guys. I think Epic Games is realizing that Fortnite is in the tanker, and so they just put like a hyper sale on, where every item you get like a $10 coupon. And there's some pretty good shit on there. But I got really excited about it, and I was like, "Oh shit! I can get Civilization for $5 essentially because they give you one of these coupons for free."
Dude,
Wait,
Civ
Civ
6 was
6?
like free for like.
I
like,
know.
weeks.
And then I was like, I looked at all the like news things, and it was like Civ 6 free, literally a day ago. I was like, motherfucker.
Yeah,
I got it for $5 though.
I started playing Civ for the first time ever with my friends, and I've been having a great time.
Okay,
Never
yeah,
thought I would
yeah,
actually
yeah.
enjoy Civ.
But now the Borderlands collection is free.
You had a handsome collection?
Do you know they announced Borderlands? Well, I guess it was already announced, but like fucking what's that actress from fucking I was about to say Ocean's 8, but I don't think many.
She might be.
Oh, wait, Ocean's 8 cast.
Anne Hathaway?
No, Kate Blanchett is going to be playing Lilith in the Borderlands movie.
Oh, yeah,
What the fuck? Hold on, there's a Borderlands movie?
I'm
Yeah.
kind of concerned how that's going to turn out, but I guess if it's good, I'll hope that it's good.
Eli Roth is directing, which that's the only thing that concerns me, because I don't really like Eli Roth.
I gotta say, it's gonna be bad.
It's gonna be bad. Borderlands 3 story. Borderlands story used to be one of the best stories out there, and then each game
What?
got a little bit worse.
It was... Wait, Borderlands story was good at a certain
What the
point?
fuck, did you play Borderlands 2?
It was a good
Yeah, and it was boring as fuck.
What?
God,
I hated Borderlands 2
Borderlands-
story.
Borderlands 2 story is one of the best stories.
One of the
I didn't-
best stories?
of all time.
Arguably.
I mean, I guess we're talking about it, but...
I mean, Handsome Jack is probably one of the better villains that's been
yeah,
written.
I mean, a good villain, but I'm saying, like, the best times of playing, like, Borderlands 2 were the times where I had other people to play with. The problem is I didn't have anyone to play it with.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Borderlands
I'm
too. Borderlands
Yeah.
is an experience that is always better with friends, I find.
I mean, so
I'm
is
just saying
everything.
that apart from Handsome Jack talking, like, none of the other stuff was really captivating to
Oh
me.
man, 3.
Especially Claptrap. Fuck
This-
Claptrap.
The story of 3 triggered the fuck out of me. The fact that like
It's just bad.
it's like the fact that all the sirens essentially give everything up for that little fucking bitch ass girl. I'm like, bro, she didn't do anything. She's
You don't
just
have
been
to
a
do anything to be worthy.
no, but she's just been a bitch on the sideline the entire game, and they're like, you can take over Sanctuary now. Fucking kill me, man.
Great. There was this great character study that compared Tiny Tina to Ava, and they said like the main difference is that Tiny Tina actually like learns from her challenges and mistakes and whatnot, and has like development, and Ava does not.
Yeah. And
I've never played
I was a little
Borderlands.
bit mad at some of the character deaths, mind you. Like fucking Maya, I was so mad. The way she died was so lame.
Yeah.
Sorry for everyone who hasn't played Borderlands 3.
Are you ready for
I
the
haven't.
DLC where you?
I've never played Borderlands anything.
They're saying the next DLC is you go into Krieg's head and probably help him deal with the grieving over Maya.
Oh
Well,
wow.
well, Maya shouldn't be dead anyway, so.
I mean, Krieg and Maya was the best relationship in the whole game.
So are we actually going to play Cyberpunk?
No.
Yes.
No, don't you dare.
Because I guarantee you...
Oh, Prim.
I guarantee you, as soon as we start, I'm gonna get a holler that says the dinner's ready, and then we're gonna have to take another break.
Yeah, I'm
I'm gonna
waiting.
get into that. Is this on? Is this thing on?
Yeah.
All right. Welcome then to Cyberpunk Providence Rising, a Cyberpunk Red adventure for 4 players and 1 coffee-sipping GM.
Dope.
I will be your narrator for this story. And if each of you guys would like to introduce yourselves, we can get started.
Where are we located right now? Like,
I haven't started the thing, the setting intro yet. I just figured it would be good for each of you to briefly say who you are and what your role is before we even jump into it.
Okay.
Sounds nice.
all right.
Anybody want to get the ball?
I was like, what order are we doing?
Who wants to start? I guess I could start.
Started it?
What kind of introductions are we doing? Is my question.
I mean, your character name and your role is probably fine enough.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Like role as in just like the particular like cyberpunk rulebook role we chose,
Yeah, like
or just
solo,
like a
media.
little, or just like a little bit about like what our expertise is.
There's gonna be a lot of editing for Cole. Whatever you want to share.
I mean, this isn't really going to be that bad. I'm
Yeah, bro, whatever. Fuck you.
There'll be a timer at the bottom of the screen describing how long it took for us to start. That's all it's going to be.
yeah.
Like 15
But
minutes.
so my character is Jack Deacon. He is an executive. That is all.
Nice. Nailed it.
I'll give a more detailed description once he's on the scene on the main stage.
I'm
So,
sorry.
my character's name is Voldeck, and he's the tech.
All right.
Ooh.
Voldeck the tech. I didn't even realize that.
Oh man, it rhymes.
My
That's
name-
shit, dude.
My guy is Ethan DeRudy, or you can call me Shift. I'm a solo.
Nice,
Cool.
nice. Alright, my guy is Lucian Fox, unrelated to the DC character, and my nickname is
Copyright.
Hammerhead. Can't copyright it.
Copyright strike.
I came up with it separately.
I'm already calling the FBI.
Alright, they're on their way. I gotta run. Gotta put on a shirt.
Okay, they're gonna find all your porn.
No, my homework folder.
Okay.
Jokes
Wow.
on you. You just told them what you just told them where to look.
That's what you
So?
think.
That's a diversion.
I'm gonna run out of coffee to sip here, guys.
Coffee's lame. Unless you're drinking it with Mott's Business safe.
All right. Camerahead just died.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm dead.
Oh no, Camerahead was assassinated.
We will go ahead and we'll start our story in Seattle, Washington, in the new United States.
Oh no.
And as we come into our scene, we will start with the ever-present news broadcasts that you all start your mornings with because you're very politically minded and keep up with the times.
Of course.
So, good morning, Seattle. I'm Davis Lovely with your morning broadcast. It's April 13th here in Seattle, Washington. The sky is sunny with low humidity. Temperatures are rising, as are tensions, with 10 dead and 21 injured, and another suicide bombing outside the Aeromech Wellness Center. Last night, Seattle PD will be cracking down on the string of incidents with a 9 p.m. curfew starting next week. In other news, Lifeco is positioned to reveal their new health technology next Thursday, and insiders tell us it's a doozy. Investors are primed awaiting the announcement from lead developer Thaddeus McKennell. Now stay safe out there, Seattle. This is Davis Lovely, signing off. Now, Voldeck,
He sounds
Shift,
lovely.
and Camerahead, you are all sitting in the lobby of a certain company that you've come to begin working for, called Griffon Corporation. Each, for your own reasons, has decided to agree to work at this corporation, and after filling out the nightmarish W-4, you are ready to begin your first day on the job. So as you kind of wait to be briefed, you see in the room your boss, Amira Tanis, a very pink-haired and feisty lady who wears a giant coat with a big fluffy collar on it.
Man,
And as always, she seems very cocksure of herself. Also in the room, you see kind of standing next to her a very sharp-looking man in a suit that has a little name tag that says Jack Deacon on it.
All right.
And with Yep, so the 5 of you are all in that room. If you want to describe what you're doing while Amara sifts through some paperwork, you may.
All right. Well, you see my guy, Shift. He's got his feet up on the coffee table or whatever fucking table's near us. He's got a pair of aviators on, chewing on a toothpick. He's got a white bomber jacket on with a pair of golden wings on the back.
Oh, that sounds like a real asshole.
Yeah, it kind of is. Fuck you, by the way. I'm shooting you first. You can see in his jacket, he has a holster. You're not sure what type of weapon's in there. And underneath, looks like he's got a bit of Kevlar on. That's about it.
Nice.
So
Oh, he's got a pair of racing gloves on, too.
I was gonna try to call.
what?
What? Huh?
Okay, go. Someone else go.
I'm
Alright.
for
Yeah. Camera boy,
Oh, all right.
go for it.
Cameron, he's chilling. He's on his tablet, catching up with more news because that news briefing was a little short. He's a little annoyed about the 9 o'clock curfew. Low key, he likes to party at night. Likes to go out and stream his activities, but that's all right. He decides to just sit there and perusing over the news briefings. Yeah, that's it.
Cool. So, Voldeck is, I think, sitting next to Shift. I'm not really sure, but just kind of got the sniper on the table, cleaning it, tinkering with it, just kind of invested in that, not really paying attention to what's going on around him.
I like that you brought it with you into the briefing room.
I always bring it with me. You never know.
They're
I
not
respect
separate.
that. And Jack Deacon is standing next to what's her name? Amaris? Amaria.
Amara.
Boss
Yeah.
lady, Amira.
Standing next to her, but he's just kind of got his arms crossed, and he's kind of looking at each of the 3 assets he sees in front of him, and just kind of sizing them up, and kind of getting a read on them. He looks kind of impressed with the diligence in which Voldeck is cleaning his rifle. Taking care of a weapon is important to Jack, so he respects that. He kind of is unsure about the other 2.
Yeah, so Jack Deacon, this would be your first time in this room, and just at a glance, you've heard about this company before, and you're excited to partner with them. But there is an inordinate amount of burgundy in this room, as well as the company logo.
I'm going to just add and say burgundy is a dope color, so no insults.
True.
Oh, I love that color. It's one of my favorites. Oh, isn't this Adam Jensen's office from Human Revolution? I think this is. This is Adam Jensen's office.
Yeah, it is.
No, this is the Griffon Corporation.
It's the Griffon Corporation office. Just
Hey, that's fine. I love this office, so I'm totally down.
it's more burgundy than orange.
Mhm.
Anyway,
I like it.
That aside,
Tom's a hack.
wow.
Doesn't design his own rooms for us.
After shuffling through all of her paperwork, there's a knock to the door of the briefing room. Amara goes ahead and opens it, and you see kind of in walks a man in a business suit, and also wearing just a plain medical mask.
He's concerned
kinda
about the
tripping.
virus.
He doesn't really say a thing, but Amara kind of shows him in like she was expecting him, and he kind of just takes his position next to Jack Deacon. And with that, Amara kind of turns to the three of you, her new employees.
So,
Well, good morning. Glad to see you guys are still alive. Unlike the rest of my employees, but we make do with what we have. Now then, welcome to your first official job at Griffon Corporation. I know the amount of ruffians I had you beat up before I actually took you on was a little bit large, but, you know, you're here now, and we all have success in our lives.
nothing
So-
we can handle.
To cut to the chase,
My ribs say otherwise.
this is Agent Earl Grey. He has come to grace our office from Washington, D.C., not to be confused with Seattle, Washington, and has a task for you. You complete this task, and I get paid very well. And then maybe you'll get paid very well. We'll see.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Wow.
Hold up.
I guess it
if you're
depends
getting
on
paid
how
well,
well we do the job.
We
isn't it?
gotta get paid well. That is a good
Right.
question.
Of course, we'll see how you do.
All right. Well,
We'll see if you come back. Now,
that's not something you gotta worry about. But continue.
a very unfortunate circumstance here. Earl Grey here seems to have lost track of his partner, who was here in Seattle 2 weeks ago and has gone missing. He needs you to find the individual and bring him to him.
You sure he's not
This
just on a bender and hiding low?
I mean, who knows, but, you know, asset recovery falls underneath our jurisdiction. So I'm going to ask you to handle this one.
Sure.
You can use whatever means you need to find the target. Once you have a plan, you are free to use whatever armor and weapons you have if you can justify it. I had a pizza delivery boy steal 15 assault rifles from me the other day. So,
God damn! Did you tip him?
of course, who do you think I am?
I'm just checking. Like you had to have a reason.
I tipped him with...
Assault rifles?
Shut up.
Do you want
Anyway,
me to find this pizza boy?
I'm
she
also-
means her vagina.
how dare you?
I apologize.
You haven't unlocked my backstory yet. I'm assigning with you on this mission Jack Deacon. He is partnering with our office from Deacon Software Incorporated, and I need you really to not let him die on this one. It would look really badly for me, specifically.
I love executives. And Ethan gives you a very fake-looking smile, Jack.
And I
Yes,
give a very genuine, toothy smile back.
Don't we all? But, you know, he might have what you need to get into certain places should it come to it.
So I whisper over to Shift and I say, "Hey, I think he likes you."
I hope not.
With that, Amara kind of slaps down a very thin dossier on the counter. This is all the information we have. It has a few leads for you, but other than that, you're going to be on your own on this one. You're free to pick it up whenever you want, but Mr. Earl Grey here has suggested that you get it done within the next week.
Alright.
Alright. Should be fine.
I'll
Easy enough.
I'll grab the dossier. Is there like, can I like slide? Is it like split into parts where I can give it to the other guys as well?
You see that inside the dossier, there is a picture of the target, as well as just one piece of paper with some information on it.
What does it say?
So on the picture of the paper,
The paper.
the paper says, you know, Agent Chamomile went missing on April 1st, 2078. His last known position was downtown Seattle. Suspected involvement with gangs in the area. Potential leads, it lists a single name in quotation marks of Magellan. And then you see the picture is a man that looks pretty nondescript, wearing black sunglasses, and on the back it just has written on it chamomile.
And, like, does it specify where downtown Seattle, or just say downtown Seattle?
Just says downtown Seattle. You get the feeling that there's not a lot of information here.
Can we at least get a better picture of the person we're trying to find? If he has glasses on, we can't even see his eyes.
If you want to bring up the Federal Bureau's fetish with covering their faces, you could talk to Mr. Earl Grey here, but I don't think he'll entertain that thought.
But if we're supposed to find your partner, how are we going to do that without knowing his face?
With the picture, you can actually see, like, the rest of his face. He's just wearing the sunglasses, but you can see he kind of has a receding hairline and smile lines that are pretty heavy set into his face that kind of intersect with the cybernetics tucked under his skin.
Gotcha.
Now, is there any sort of reason he would be involved with these type of people?
With that, Earl Grey goes ahead and he speaks up for the first time you've heard. As he speaks, you see that his mouth or anything just doesn't seem to move at all.
Oh.
Agent Chamomile was investigating the appearance of the Renegades nomad group that pulled up in Seattle a few weeks back. We're afraid that maybe the worst has happened to him, and we're here to perform extraction.
Okie doke.
Yeah, sounds vague, but possible.
I'm more concerned with the information he may have had if anything did happen to him.
Yes, so are we.
Now we'll focus on extraction.
You see at this point, Amira's just kind of lighting a cigar, and she kind of takes the paper from you, Shift, and points at it. Only lead we have right now, Magellan, genius net runner, should be able to locate your man if you can find him.
So it seems like we need to go after Magellan if we're going to be able to try
And
and find chamomile.
and Magellan, where's his hangout? Like downtown Seattle, or?
He moves around. Last connection I had was that he was seen at a place called Hikikomori House. It's a Netrunner cafe downtown.
Sounds like a place we should check out.
We gotta start there.
Good name.
If you're gonna head down there though, I'm gonna go ahead and lend you some armor.
Oh, is this a bad part of town?
Not necessarily. I'd rather not have my employees turn into meat sacks on the first day, though.
What part of town isn't bad?
Yeah,
This day and age.
I'll fucking tell you right now. Ever since Griffon Corporation moved in, no crime within this one neighborhood.
Hey, that's an accomplishment.
Yeah.
I go outside and I shoot several shots in the air to keep property rent down.
Oh. That's not as good.
I mean, hey.
But you do what you gotta do.
So with that, Agent Earl Grey is still there, as well as Amara, if you have further questions for them. You can see in the back, there's like a locked storage container that's open now that has several sets of like burgundy Kevlar in it.
Nice.
Does everything have to be burgundy here?
Yes, burgundy is the company color.
Don't you fucking insult my brand.
Talk about team
I
spirit.
won't. No, I'm not. I just like burgundy.
And in terms of our own personal equipment that we have, can we lock it up here while we're away on jobs?
Yeah, so you all have your own personal locker, as well as like your own personal bunk here. Quote unquote offices, but it's more like a place you can crash in an emergency.
Okay.
You do see though that none of the gun containers have unlocked yet.
Fucking progression system.
Cole, you're fucking this up. Cool.
Jack's gonna kind of look around the room and notice the burgundy color scheme and how he still hasn't quite adjusted his attire thusly. And since he doesn't want to wear anything other than his suit, he's going to tap a few buttons on his watch, and you'll notice that the color on his leather driving gloves, as well as the color of his tie, seems to kind of like change color slowly, almost as if it's kind of like Octo Camo and Metal Gear Solid, just kind of like and changes.
I like this.
Sweet.
How much that cost?
More than you'd like, less than you think.
Interesting.
That was cool as fuck. I want one. I need one. Gotta have one. Where'd you get it?
I know a guy. I'll introduce you sometime.
Hell yeah.
Gotta introduce me as well.
Know that.
So, are we allowed to grab some weapons from here? Do we need some armor? Like, what is available to us right now, boss?
So as I mentioned previously, you see that all of the armor lockers, or at least the Kevlar ones, have opened up. So you have Kevlar available to you
Just
right now.
Just body or
All right.
helmet too?
No, both body and helmet.
Okay.
Nice, nice.
Alright, well, Voldeck walks over, doesn't say a word, but just kind of starts putting shit on.
Yeah. Kind of same
Yeah,
with
so-
Ethan.
So Kevlar, so this Kevlar, burgundy, both the body and the suit armor have the Griffon logo on them, and they will give you, 7 SP armor that will maybe get destroyed or not. Who knows? But Jack, you're specifically choosing not to wear it. Is that correct?
Well, I would say that I probably have armor that is because it's Kevlar that they're like wearing like Kevlar vests, correct? That they have.
Yeah.
Okay. Could we say that perhaps in a John Wick fashion that I already have like Kevlar on under my suit, or that the suit jacket is itself lined with Kevlar?
Well, you already own Kevlar, correct?
Yeah.
It's not going to be built into your suit, but you are wearing Kevlar underneath
Okay.
it.
Wonderful. But I will also take a helmet.
Sure.
Okay.
As you reach for that helmet, you see kind of Amara, who is finishing lighting her cigar with her thumb cybernetic that turns into a lighter.
That's awesome.
That's hot.
Hey, Corp. Look, I know I'm letting you in on this one, but any of our equipment gets damaged, I'm going to be billing your company. You know that, right?
Oh, don't worry, I'll be very gentle.
Yeah, you will.
It's getting steamy.
Now, do we got a set of wheels we can use, or?
I mean, I can call you a taxi if you want, but not unless you're heading out to this fucking agent's position. I'm not going to give you anything of my own.
I was just wondering.
That's fair.
Don't worry, I have a car.
Oh.
If
So
I
do
could break character fast, what does this armor give up for both?
Yeah, so it's 7 for both the head and the body.
Nice.
Yeah, and as we know, as armor, as damage gets past your armor, it will lower your armor's SP until it's completely destroyed.
Alright. Bit.
So you guys all suit up and head off into the streets of Seattle. As Davis Lovely has said, the sky is sunny with not a cloud in it. You can see above the different skyscrapers and whatnot the majestic Space Needle that at this point has become dwarfed by various skyscrapers but still stands on the skyline as a testament to what once was.
Alright, so I'm thinking we head down to this little hangout spot and we, scope it out a little bit, see if we can find our mans, but What do you guys think?
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Sounds like a plan to me.
That would be the
So-
smartest course of action.
Mr. Deacon, you said you had a vehicle?
I also heard that Mr. Derudy here also has a vehicle.
Yeah.
Well, he's got driving gloves, so I trust that vehicle.
All right.
Um,
Just don't drag any mud into the car.
so wait, whose car are we going in?
I suppose mine, since Voldeck gave
Wait,
such a.
you guys both have driving gloves?
Yeah, I have driving gloves on too.
Oh, you do?
Oh shit!
Oh wow.
Now I don't know who to choose. Big decision.
Eeny, meeny, miny, moe.
Here,
You
here,
can
what
make
I'll
a
do.
you can make a face
Can I
down
roll
if
for
you
decision
want.
making?
No, what I'll do is I'll walk over in the parking lot because I imagine our cars are parked close and present my car while Jack Deacon presents his. I don't know if you have a picture of my car, Tom, but
I do.
Yeah, we do. It was that sick Cybertruck.
no.
No, that's the company.
Oh shit!
That was-
That-
that was like-
Oh, okay.
that was the getaway car.
Oh.
Here it is. Yeah, you see Shift go over to his car.
Yo, you guys like my car?
It's a little bit of a beater.
It's a little bit of a beater, but I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What is
I present my car.
Okay, hold on. Let me find a good photo. Actually, I think I posted one earlier some time ago. You know the funniest part about the car from the Big O? The name of the car is Griffon.
Oh wow.
Well, we can't fucking.
But we can't not take that car then.
And by the way, that like color changing thing is also something that happens in Big O because the car in Big O, like that little front, the little thing on front, like there's an episode where he has to go incognito, so the license plates change, and then he can change the color of the car to like red, like instantly.
Oh, I wish I could change my
Yeah.
car color.
That's pretty dope.
My car
Gotta say.
So what are we thinking? My car, your car?
I don't know, man.
I'm open to either one. I suppose it's up to our two associates here.
I will say my car's a bit more incognito feeling.
Yeah, I think we
Mhm.
take the beater.
Yeah,
I would agree.
take the beater. We won't be noticed.
Alright.
Smart choice.
It's a hard choice. Do we do it in style or do we do it incognito? I'd rather not get caught. We are supposed to be making sure ship doesn't
Yeah.
die.
Well,
Yeah.
we don't want Magellan to get suspicious and get spooked.
Yeah.
That is true.
So, all right, Mr. Shift's car it is.
Alright.
Hopping in.
As you guys hop in the car, you notice the car is like immaculate. There's no dust, there's no dirt, no anything in the car.
Ooh.
Wow, this thing
Um,
is cleaner than it looks.
I shit on the
outside.
seats. Just kidding.
Yeah, I like to imagine that like your name is Shift, but I really want it to be want the twist to be that the car is an automatic.
That would be hilarious.
Can I roll to spill my drink?
How dare you?
Everyone's just immediately trying to wreck it.
As I turn on the car, it also sounds like there's something a little bit behind the engine, not just the normal sounding beater. But
I'll say as you turn on the car, this like kind of golden like neon trim lights up along the seams of the inside.
that is very true.
Oh, that's nice.
It is also very, squishy considering how many of us are in the car, but there's a little bit of room, but
I'm used to it.
Shotgun.
Oh yeah, who's
I never
shot?
like shotgun anyway.
I call shotgun. I got a shotgun.
Voldeck
Alright,
is
I
shot.
look at everybody and I snarl.
Alright.
Whatever, Voldeck. I didn't want shotgun anyway. I kind of like the back seat.
Hey,
Good. All right. I guess do I know where this Hikikomori house is?
You can just type it into your car system like nav chip and just locate it on your.
As someone who knows the streets, would I know where it is?
Oh, I see. Go ahead and make me a knowledge. What is it? Knowledge local.
Oh yeah.
Local knowledge.
A local expert, please.
Local expert.
All right, where's local expert?
Yeah, to know where this cafe is. That doesn't. That.
No.
Do you have a headshot modifier on?
Oh, I do. Okay, let me. Yeah, I was headshot in that local expert. All right, let's roll that again.
So since this is probably audio only, that was a 2.
I know. I'm capturing the game too.
This. Oh, you are. Okay, this is a 10.
Nice.
Which, you know, a challenged rating of 10 is something that most people can do without thinking about it, but which might be hard for a small child.
Well,
So with a 10, you kind of remember the general area of downtown. You also know where all of the fucking nerds hang out. So you think you can get pretty close to where it is.
all right.
Take a few detours.
I start heading out to where I think it is and see if I find it.
Alright, as you guys go ahead and you travel down the neon streets, I need you to make me a driving check.
We all do?
No, just the driver.
I was like, just
Oh, God.
Well, if you're gonna backseat drive, you should also probably.
Okay,
do a
that's
driving
me.
check.
If you wanna reach for the steering wheel while he's driving.
Don't go that way.
Yes, but a 22, excellent. You go ahead and just kind of navigate through traffic, speeding where there's no cars and slowing down where you see the occasional corp cop. But before long, you make it to downtown with the neon streets and the homeless people and all the good stuff.
Hell yeah.
My favorite.
So as Shift brings the car into this neighborhood, you can see all of the different storefronts that are up. A lot of this stuff here is in Japanese.
Oh,
Because-
Nihongo, yes, I speak.
Yeah, Nihongo, yes. Because most netrunners are weebs in Seattle.
Makes sense.
See.
But yeah, would anybody else like to make me a knowledge local expert check?
I can.
Let's see.
Yeah, see, the problem is knowledge is local expert is linked to intelligence, which that stat is low for me.
I have 10 intelligence. I could.
Oh, there we go.
Oh.
Jack has a nice roll.
Yeah,
He loves hentai.
You know, Matt, Jack Deacon works. You know, he owns his parents' software company, and this is where a lot of software is bought and used. So, kind of a little bit more familiar with the area. You do point out to one of the signs that says, Hikikomori House on the front of it.
All right. As I pull up the car to it, I do like a fucking drift and then like slide into a parallel parking spot.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Very
Oh,
You know what,
conspicuous.
22.
So immediately as we roll up, I'm gonna do a perception and just scan the area, see if there's anything like anybody notice this reckless driver over here.
Okay, go ahead.
That was quite a bold entrance.
You do see, with a 17, you see that there is a cop on the street corner.
Hmm.
That wasn't too
But the moment that he sees you, all step out of the car, clad in armor and holding guns.
Hold
Oh, God.
on. My gun is holstered in my jacket.
I guess I should ask, Voldeck, are you trying to hide your sniper rifle?
Like, Voldeck's the only one with a very...
Yeah, I've always got a big ass gun on me.
You're getting like used to that thing like Saito had in the movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna need some kind of way to conceal it.
You're just a musician.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
I should have a little case for it.
Need a big
I'm gonna. Here, okay. So does this guy like start walking up to us?
No, I was going to say he just
I mean-
does the opposite. The moment that he sees 4
Well,
Fuck that shit.
armored men.
hold up. Let me try and stealth it.
I mean, if you don't have a case, would it be appropriate to say I have a duffel bag in the car you could use?
I don't know if it would fit in a duffel bag. This is a pretty heavy sniper rifle.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I guess we didn't think about being incognito when we put on a bunch of fucking.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
that's why. See, my character was kind of hesitant about the head armor. That's why he was kind of like, what would these helmets? What do they kind of look like? Would they could they pass as like motorcycle helmets or?
No, these are more traditional, combat helmets.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now
it's
knowing
it's hard to justify it as anything else.
Okay. I'm gonna.
we look retarded.
I would say with this information, we should probably ditch the Kevlar in the car for now. I just saw the police officer running away. He's obviously threatened by us. We need to not draw attention to ourselves. I'll leave the sniper in the car. Let's do some reconnaissance.
Bro, I'll leave the helmet, but no way I'm not wearing my Kevlar.
Yeah, that's. I mean, maybe something a little bit lighter than that, but that's a good appropriation.
That looks nice. I could see leaving the helmet, yes, but like we walk in here and just immediately get fucked up because we left all our armor.
Yeah, alright. We'll keep the armor on. And honestly, if you guys want me hanging back in the car and I can keep watch, do supportive fire if needed, I promise I won't harm your vehicle.
He just shoots through the window.
I mean,
yeah, pick up the window and start fire.
Pick up
you don't even crack the window, you just shoot through the glass.
Just pick up the goddamn shell casings if you do.
Oh, of course.
You do see that this storefront does not have any windows, besides the neon sign that flickers Hikikomori House on the front of it and the metal door. This looks more like a dive bar than anything else.
All right. Well, I walk up to the door and open it, beckoning the rest of the guys through.
Okay.
All right. I walk in last, as this is too sketchy for me. The police are running away.
Oh, I was muted. I turn. I go in and I turn to face Camerahead as he's walking in, since he's walking in last, and I ask him, Mr. Fox, you're a net runner, correct?
Incorrect. I actually am a media.
Oh shit! Fuck. Never mind. I had the wrong thing in my notes. All right, let me just.
Okay.
There are no net runners because they would be too complicated for a DM man.
Right.
And Tom, we have like comms, right?
Yeah. So along with the Kevlar and everything, there's a few things that Amira has outfitted you with for all of your normal work on top of, the specific jobs that she needs you to do. So you all kind of have essentially short wave radio things in your ears that can be used to communicate with each other, as well as the equivalent of like an iPad in a otter case.
Okay.
By the way, guys, the very thing that I said was going to happen happened. I have to go eat dinner. So if we could take a small break.
All right, we'll pause here.
Oh, you motherfucker!
It's okay. It would be very inconvenient if we did not have comms. And you're the lookout. You're the lookout, and we're just like, oh, we're in so much trouble. And you're just chilling in the car.
Yeah, or like if people started rushing it, and I'm just like,
I can only shoot so many people at a time. Wait.
They just fuck me up and leave. You guys come out into a dead body in the car.
We come out the car.
Four dudes surround the body and just surround the car and just SMG you to death.
Yeah.
And then they just make off with your gear.
Also, okay, completely unrelated. You know that like Mario vs. Rabbids game?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, where Luigi.
Yeah, the XCOM one.
Yeah, no, literally. The other day I was at my friend's house and I was like, "Isn't this just XCOM for kids?"
It's actually pretty fun though.
Yeah, it looks fun, but I was just like, "Isn't this XCOM for kids?" And they're like, "Oh no, dude, it's totally different." I'm like, "Nah,
Also,
it's totally just XCOM."
The Rabbit Donkey Kongs are fucking awesome still.
I've never played the game, and I've never actually seen any gameplay aside from like the Luigi dabbing meme.
It's fun.
God damn it.
At this point, you guys are basically all just leaning up against Shift's car and smoking, I guess.
Nice break. I like it.
So also, if you want to discuss anything about the mission you've been given, I can give a little bit of background to it if you so desire.
Alright, so if we get a job well done, we may be paid well as Amira. But is there?
I mean, we get a cut, right?
Yeah, we better.
You get paid well.
We get paid well, but not very well.
She hasn't said how well.
Yeah.
If you'd like to roll conversation to try to think back to what she was saying and what she meant, you may.
Alrighty. I think I'll do that. That's conversation. That's concentration. That was gonna be really sad.
20. Yeah, so you know the way America kind of runs Griffon Corporation is, being a private military contractor, her rates are pretty steep for people that want to hire her services. And this being also from the federal government, probably even higher.
Nice. My mom works for the federal government.
Alright.
I don't know how to respond to that.
No, ignore it.
But yeah, you could garner that, when she says that she'll get paid a lot and maybe you guys will, that means you'll probably get paid quite well if you do the job properly.
He needs a new pair of shoes.
You've noticed from talking to Amaria that she tends to kind of undercut words, but not mince them at the same time.
This netrunner we're looking for, Magellan. Is that right? Magellan?
Magellan.
Oh, Magellan.
Angeline.
Does he have like a reputation? Like, have we heard of him before?
You pull out your, iPad, your what's a better name? Your tech com. You pull out your tech com and you start typing away on it. Go ahead and make me a education roll.
Oh god, I'm not very educated. Yeah, a 10.
A 10. Yeah, you go ahead and you just kind of start Googling things, look at future Reddit and whatnot. You're able to find out that, in the anonymity circles, Magellan is a pretty notorious netrunner. He has like several kind of convicted felonies under his belt that he hasn't necessarily gone to jail for. There's been a lot of kind of talk about whether or not he's a good guy or a bad guy, as he seems like a rather dubious individual, and has gained kind of a reputation for being kind of a ghost in the net.
Interesting. I do want to add, just so you guys know, I am chewing toothpicks in real life.
Oh wow, what a beast. You said you would. I didn't know if you were serious.
I was gonna go buy like aviators or like fake ones, not because I'm not gonna play for real ones, but then I realized I wouldn't be able to see my screen because I'm blind.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah,
I'm actually gonna grab some food too, but I think what I'm going to be doing during this mission is keeping you guys updated on the outside if there's anybody coming in that looks suspicious, or if there's any kind of obviously that cop is probably going to be a problem.
Yeah, he might come back with backup.
First order of business, I think, is I need to get either a concealable pistol or a briefcase for this rifle.
True.
Probably a briefcase for the rifle.
Why don't you go ahead? This is the downtown of Seattle. So, if you want to go ahead and make me a local expert roll, you can look around the various stores here.
Bit.
Can I make a perception check just to see if there's like any alleys and stuff around the building?
Oh, you don't have to make a perception check.
Okay.
There is, around like the Hikikomori house?
Yeah, like is it on a kind of a strip mall type of a building?
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So the downtown Seattle is a very packed place over the decades. A lot of the buildings are very close to each other. Fire codes have become a little bit obsolete.
Mm-hmm.
Hikikomori House is a lot shorter than the other shops surrounding it. It kind of sits as a very squat, kind of brick-looking thing wedged between the other buildings.
So there's no real way to get behind it that I can see.
No, you're not even sure if there would be a lot behind it with the way the buildings back up. There's probably not even any space.
And how many stories is it? Like 2?
One.
Oh, one. It's 1 story. Okay, so when you mean short, you really do mean short. Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Critical success on that local expert.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Voldeck, you go ahead and while
No,
you
exactly
watch
what
your
I was
compatriot chew toothpicks, you kind of survey the surrounding landscape. And you see things, like Lifeco pharmaceutical stores, Nagama camera stores, and whatnot. You do see there is one store that is called Ongaku Music across the street. That looks like they have electric guitars available in the windows and whatnot.
I mean,
Alright, so I'm gonna leave my weapon in the car, and I think I'm gonna go to Ongaki Music and try and find myself. Do we start with money?
You would start with 30 eddies and a stick of bubblegum.
Oh, nice. So I'm gonna go into the store. Or first, actually, I'm gonna look at my rifle and take a measurement of it.
Okay, yeah, so your sniper rifle is,
Heck of long.
yeah, that's about 26 inches.
what's that in
Okay,
centimeters?
okay.
This is the future, bro.
26 Washington inches.
Fuck you.
Okay.
Washington inches. Do we get paid in
All right.
Washington dollars?
Eddie's the dollar. So a little bit on the lore here. It's 2078. After the COVID-19 crisis, the American dollar failed following a second civil war that was then followed by the People's Republic of China announcing a new gold-backed currency that they then flooded the global economy with, ruining most of the other fiscal currencies at the time. And then it wasn't until the great gold extinction of 2045 that Europe came back with the centralized euro dollar that the world uses now,
AKA Eddies.
aka eddies.
Good shit.
But yeah, so you go ahead and you measure your sniper rifle, 26 inches, Washington inches.
Alright, so after I get my measurements, I walk up to the music store. Open the door. I'm kind of looking around, seeing if there's anything I can...
As you walk in, a small, bell rings. You see that this is a very, kind of nice-looking music store. There's an inordinate amount of electric guitars compared to everything else, but there are things like synthesizers and keytars and other keyboards that people would need. You see, sitting at a counter in the back is a very old-looking, bespeckled man. You can see that he kind of has pince-nez glasses that are cybernetically attached to the ridge of his nose. As you walk in, he kind of greets you. Perspective rocker boy. Oh, you're not a rocker boy. Oh, that's Kevlar. Can I help you?
I apologize. I just like to stay safe. I was looking for something I could put a new bass guitar in. I'm trying to become a rocker boy, and
You are a rocker boy.
I'm a potential. I haven't really started out yet. That's what I'm here for.
Roll me
I got-
persuasion.
I'm not good at persuasion.
Because you are lying to this man.
I know. Fuck.
You see the old man kind of sets down the keyboard that he was tinkering with and kind of folds his arm on the counter very professionally. Well, never seen a rocker boy, or prospective one at that, have such a chiseled jawline, but if you want to look around, you're welcome to anything here at the store.
Thanks, sir. So I start looking around. And oh man, it's gonna be suspicious if I don't grab a guitar. Sir, I see a nice, white bass guitar on the ground. Say, sir, how much is this?
Well, he kind of adjusts his glasses, which doesn't work well when they're attached to his face. Oh, good old Ebony Thunder. That is... How much is the guitar worth? That is 1,200 eddies for that guy.
That's pretty cheap for a bass guitar.
Fuck off.
Oh, jeez. Well, I mean, I've just got my old clunker acoustic at home. Can I just settle for a case today? Do you have anything that's 27 inches long?
He kind of grumbles and goes to the back of the room for a second.
Preferably black, thank you, sir.
You wait, and he kind of comes back with two, bass cases. They're both of varying quality. He sets them both down on the workbench. I got this one here, platypus leather, finest there ever was, ever since the platypus went extinct. Very nice quality. Will keep any sort of synth wood or even natural wood, if you happen to have it, fresh for years. And then I have a very typical nanofiber mass-produced one, if you're more of that kind of bitch boy.
Oh, bitch boy. Shit. What's the pricing on these?
The very nice platypus leather, that's going to run you 100 eddies. Mass-produced bitch boy, I'll give it to you for 25.
Well, sir, today I am a bitch boy.
Alright. Whatever,
I
don't let
only
it
have
crumble
30
on the way out.
What the hell did I walk into?
He hands you the very cheaply put together plastic case. It's still solid though. It's not going to actually crumble to pieces.
Yeah.
But he is a little bit like, if he wasn't convinced that you weren't being authentic about being a rocker boy, he is now.
Yeah.
As you buy the cheapest thing available.
Yeah, I apologize, sir. I didn't budget this well enough. Like I said, I'm new to the trade, and this is not something I'm familiar with. I'll come back another time with some more money and get something better. I like what you got here.
He kind of
I support local businesses. Oh, well. Thanks. Thanks, sir.
Yeah, he goes back to tinkering with his keyboard.
Well, I hope you have a wonderful day. Don't come to school tomorrow.
Oh my god. So what did
The rest of you guys in the parking lot see...
He went to go
Voldeck
buy
walk-
a guitar case for the high
Yeah.
walk
I
back
need to head
across
to the
the
bathroom,
street.
but I'm going to grab a snack. But I'm just going to be chilling in the car, doing perceptions.
Nice.
Okay,
So-
so... the rest of you... Go ahead and you're walking into Hikikomori House.
Yeah.
Okay. You go ahead and you open the door, and as you walk into this dismal kind of back-end net cafe, the smell of body odor and sweat just kind of permeates in your nose. You walk through the lobby, and you don't see anybody at the front desk, as the entire space is kind of dimly lit by these blue and pink neon lights. You see the expanse of the Hikikomori house kind of reaching out as it appears to be just one single room at first glance, and you see several partitions just kind of going throughout the floor into separate cubicles that you see people in. Various people that you see are just kind of lying in chairs and beanbags, hooked into the computer screens in front of them. There's kind of a low, faint hum that simmers throughout the entire building as you step inside.
Can I, is the front desk automated? Can I check to see if it's an automated front desk? If you get what I mean?
You go ahead and you go up to the front desk, and a single screen just kind of pops up. It looks like a log of people checking in and out.
Ooh. Can I, scroll through it to see if I see the name we're looking for?
Sure, make me a basic tech roll.
Oh yeah.
That doesn't sound confident.
I got 3 points in basic tech. It's not worse. Yeah, there we go. 16.
Okay.
16. Sure. With a 16, you scroll through it enough. You kind of see the list of names there. With the 16, you can kind of port it onto your own tech comm if you want to. Nothing jumps out at you though.
Okay, well I'll take the names down.
All right. As you walk, you kind of see that there's like trash ankle high throughout the entire floor.
Well, that's great. Love this place. Reminds me of my own home.
Rags.
What did you just say?
Did you just say cum rags?
No, what are you talking about?
That's definitely what I heard.
I'm checking back on the recording.
By the way, when I immediately after I like undeafened myself, I thought that Nate was describing me as a bitch boy.
Bitch boy.
I was very confused.
I guess I turn around to the other guys. I'm like, well, I don't see any names here that pop out. But I guess we should look around, maybe ask around. But probably shouldn't try to raise too much suspicion.
How many exits does this building have, you think?
Good question. Can I check to see if there's like a exit out back or anything like at all? Is there any other exits?
It is very dimly lit, so go ahead and make me a perception roll with dark or obscured.
Dark or obscured. 6.
You do not see any entrances or exits besides the one that you came in.
Jack got an 11.
Yeah, no, you also don't.
Hmm.
From where you are at the big entrance.
And how many other people did you say were in there at the time? Like,
so there's 2 rows of like 2 cubicles each. So there's like 2 center partitions that go through the entire building, and then they have like branching ones to make cubicles. Mm-hmm. So I'd say that there's roughly about maybe 40 cubicles at most. And just looking, you can see maybe about half of them are occupied currently.
Okay. And I mean, probably unlikely, but on the research I did, there's no sort of visual description of what this Netrunner looked like. He's a complete ghost, right?
Yes. As you guys continue to kind of just crane your heads over the expanse in front of you, go ahead and make me perception checks.
Nice.
Are we still making them with a darker obscured or?
Yes.
Ooh.
You would have to get a cybernetic for dark vision.
Okay.
8. Ooh, wow. You guys are good at perception.
Yeah, so Camerahead and Jack, you both see, as you're looking out over the expanse, it looks like there's somebody looking back at you. Probably a Netrunner of somebody. They look like they're have heavy cybernetics in them, and they're dressed in some sort of like nylon hoodie maybe, but they make eye contact with you before kind of disappearing behind a partition.
I'm going to.
Go ahead, Jack. No, go ahead, Jack.
Okay, I was going to radio. Oh well, Nate's not here, but I was going to radio him and tell Voldeck to go to the rear of the building in case they try to escape through the back. So, depending on how long we stay in this building, we could just have.
He might have been gone at this point, yeah. But Shift went ahead and surveyed it a little bit, and there is no alleyway or back behind this building or anything. It's very wedged into the strip.
And how far back did I see that guy? Like, is he near the back of the partitions? Like, is he...
Oh, yeah, he's at the very back of the building, and that would be about 40 meters, 30 meters.
Okay. I'm going to sort of head that direction, but I'm going to take kind of the long way, so it's not like I'm not going directly to him.
Okay.
I'm just gonna kind of scope out the other people. Well, kind of just looks like I'm surveying the place while making my way over there.
All right. While you're taking the long way around, I'm going to take the more direct approach, hoping to de-escalate any bad, any bad situations by kind of walking over towards the guy, trying to look as casual and friendly as possible.
And while y'all do that, I'm gonna try to look for maybe like some sort of security room so I can maybe see if there's any surveillance to get any visual on our guy.
Oh, cool.
Or anybody suspicious. It might not be our guy, but because we don't know what he really looks like. But I'm gonna do that.
Okay. Let's see here. So Shift and Jack, you guys kind of start making your way through the building. You walk past several of these cubicles where you just see that there's like empty food canisters and empty things of Cheese Whiz, as these people are just kind of reclining in these beanbag chairs with large tubes either going from the back or the front of their heads into these monitors, most of which are either static or playing something at a super high speed. Hammerhead, why don't you go ahead and make me an additional perception check
Alright.
with Dark and Obscured.
Sir. Ooh. 11.
So 11. So you see the terminal desk that Shift had been fucking around with before. And you kind of get the sense a little bit that Shift's not the most technologically literate person in the world.
Alright.
Hey man, I know cars, that's it.
That's all you need to know, honestly. Alright. So, I'm gonna try to hack into this and see if maybe I can find the map to, like, any surveillance rooms or anything like that. Oh.
Okay.
Underneath.
You might want to try.
So while you're doing that, Jack Deacon, you go ahead and you make your way to where that man was, and coming around the last partition, you don't see him. It seems that he's disappeared. But with your with your critical success, you do see what looks to be a small metal hatch in the corner of the room.
Okay, I'm gonna turn. I'm gonna kind of give a signal to Shift to tell him to come over by me.
As you turn around
briskly walk over
to talk to Shift, Shift, you yourself kind of feel the cold barrel of metal pressed against your back of your head as there's somebody standing behind you.
Oh, shit.
Have they noticed me yet?
What do I owe this pleasure?
You see the kind of, so at this point, Jack Deacon, you're kind of looking back at Shift, who is facing you, while somebody's standing behind him. Possibly something going on. Shift, you kind of hear in your ear a very kind of cybernetic sounding voice, as this person has had some heavy modification just done overall. Not that you can get a good look at them, but you can just kind of feel the lack of human warmth from them. Yeah, you guys are net runners. What are you doing here?
Looking for a place to chill. Is that a crime?
Considering that you don't have any interface ports, I think it's a little bit difficult.
I mean, wait, do people, like regular people, just have like jack-in ports? Or is that...
You have chip slots, but you don't have a straight interface that would let you net run.
Okay.
But you do have like things like slots that you can put interface and implants into.
Do we have like a Ghost in the Shell like port on the back of the neck?
Or is it like stacks and Altered cards?
So they do a very good job of representing it in the Cyberpunk gameplay demo. I don't know. I'm assuming that's probably similar to what Ghost in the Shell had.
It kind of, yeah. Just it's more like on the wrist.
Yeah, sure, but this would be like behind your ear.
Okay.
Because he's
cool.
Because he is an idiot and pressed his gun right to the back of my head, can I use my reflexes to like shift it off and like try to grab him? Like spin around and grab him? Because putting your gun right to someone's head is not a smart idea all the time.
You can, but I can tell you, even without a perception check, this man is very tense.
Could I? So I have an idea. I have an idea, but I want to know if I can actually do this. So
Sure.
Since I have that radio link cyber audio implant, could I possibly like, could I like try to see if he has any like audio implants, and see if I could hack it to like cause it to like have like a loud ringing to like disorient him for just a minute?
You could, but that would be a pretty hard cybertech roll, since you're not even sure if he has an implant or what his frequency would be.
Okay.
But you could attempt it. Camera head, you've pulled up the terminal that has the list of names as well as what looks to be some sort of general ledger. But you do notice at this point something going on in the back.
All right, I'm gonna head over there. See.
Okay, so you just go ahead and you shut it down and head over.
Can I try doing a face down with this guy? Like, I'll tighten my fist and be like, listen, bud, you don't want to fuck with me.
Yeah, that would definitely work.
Alright.
I like it, I forgot.
Now, he will be the defender in this face down, though.
Okay. So what do? I just...
You can click the face down button. He got a 16.
Okay, hold on.
With a critical success.
Critical success.
And you also got a critical success.
Nice.
Describe how you want to convince him.
Well, I tighten my fists up, like, he could probably, like, see that my fists are, like, bunched up, and I'm like, listen, bud, back the fuck off. You have no involvement in what I'm here for, so walk away.
You kind of hear, like, the grinding of metal teeth as he considers his options. But Cameron, you see, as you're walking up, that he just decides you guys are very set on whatever the fuck you're about to do, and that he might not want to be in between that, so he lowers his weapon and immediately backs up.
Cool, what a waste of time.
I mean, he can either back up or he can have a -3 to everything he does against shift.
So can I turn around and see what he looks like?
Yeah, so you go ahead and you kind of get a good look at him. He looks a little bit similar to some of the other netrunners here. He has essentially the equivalent of a virtual boy that's slapped into the front of his head. Integrated into it, you can see that his entire face is covered in cybernetic lines that signify implants underneath the surface. And you can kind of see on the back half of his head, doesn't like have any hair or skin on it, as it looks like just kind of one giant interface port. And once again, he's wearing kind of like scrubs, but another one of those nylon hoodies that kind of shimmers a little bit in the neon light.
All right. And I said, that's right, back off. And then I turn back and head towards Jack.
Very well done. I noticed a hatch in the floor. I think our little spook may have run there.
Is this hatch, like, big enough for us to fit in? Like, how big is it?
Yeah, no, it's a normal sized person hatch. You see it's like two metal grates that are just closed tightly together. There's some sort of keypad on the wall next to it.
Can I mean, if he was Hero Tom, I'm gonna, like, radio Voldeck in the car and give a brief description of who we saw in the back, and just to keep an eye out for him if he sees him in the street.
Okay.
And
yeah, you go and you give him the description of the netrunner neat.
And then I'll radio over to Camerahead and tell him what we found if he wants to join us.
I think Camerahead is next to you.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I came over.
Oh, okay, sorry, I didn't hear that.
I thought you were gonna have a scuffle, but you just kind of scared this dude off.
All right.
I'm gonna follow you guys, I guess.
I guess I can go first. I'll drop down.
Okay, so
No,
there's a
no,
keypad, though,
the hatch
isn't it?
is locked.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
the
there's a keypad, isn't it locked?
Oh shit.
It's very much so just like metal grates that are slammed shut next to each other.
Anyone good at hack and tech?
I can
could take-
try.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you try it.
What role would that be?
So this is going to be basic tech.
Are there any modifiers?
Yes. We're going to say. I'm not going to say that you've never done this before, because this does fall underneath some of your expertise a little bit, but we're going to say unfamiliar equipment. $11. So you go ahead and you start kind of trying out a few different codes and kind of trying to figure out how the interface works. And you do kind of figure out how the system works while several kind of red error messages kind of beep up here and there, but it looks like it's a typical 4-digit PIN that you would have to crack.
Can I try?
Beep boop. Yeah, go for it.
And I would get
step aside and
unfamiliar equipment or.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, even worse. 10.
Yeah, so you go ahead and Shift kind of tries his luck at it, and you see another red error message pop up, and then you see kind of with that error message a little red box that says 3 tries remaining.
I very
stick to driving, my guy.
Well,
I
third
was
time's
very
the charm.
caveman-y, like trying to crack it. I look at so we're in a little cubicle, correct?
No. So you're like at the far wall.
Okay. And
Well, third
when-
time's the charm. I'll try. I'll try hacking it.
I believe in you.
when we
Basic tech.
when we saw the guy in the back, was he at a cubicle and then he ran into the side?
You're not entirely sure from where you were, since it was all the way across the room, but it looked like he was near the back, if not all the way back there.
Okay.
Alright. So Deacon has rolled a 15. Can he
So with a 15,
Could add some luck into there.
I'm gonna say right now that you don't think a 15 is good enough.
Okay.
But yes, like Shift
I
just
returned.
there is a luck mechanic where you can spend luck points each
welcome back?
session to increase check scores.
Okay.
So
Do
you
I want
missed
to
first
use that
one,
now?
You don't have to use all of it.
Can I get an update on what's happening?
They went into the Netrunner Cafe.
Oh,
And it was disgusting. They found a hatch, and they had a face down with a Netrunner who almost blew off Shift's head.
Oh, Jesus.
He learned that
Yeah.
he probably would have come out dead in that fight.
Damn.
How many luck points
Everything
do you
looking
have?
alright?
I have 2 luck points.
Okay, shit.
Wow.
I have 7.
We have 7. I have 4.
Well, let's have we'll have Voldeck come in here, and then he'll try to hack it, and then it'll just like.
Oh, are you trying to hack something?
Yeah, let's see. There's a hash in the floor, but there's a keypad to try. And
Oh yeah,
access
I
it.
guess he is
Oh.
our tech. Yeah.
Yeah, so, okay,
dude,
so
I've got 10 into tech.
it kind of blurs out, and then there's like 2 tries remaining.
Mm.
All right, boys.
So
I'm coming in.
I'm gonna switch places with you, Voldeck.
All right.
Alright,
Just
so
have a
I'm-
lookout.
Okay,
Huh?
so Camerahead goes out to the car, and Voldeck comes in.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch places with you, so we still have a lookout.
Yeah,
Alright, cool.
so Voldeck, as you walk in,
Are we wearing our Kevlar coming into here?
Yes,
Yes.
but not our helmets.
Okay. And then I put my gun into its case and I sling it across my back and I start heading inside.
As you head inside, the scent of body sweat and BO kind of just hits you in the face as you start walking into this kind of cubicle-ridden net cafe. It's one giant room with a bunch of partitions in it for people to hang out in. And the floor is just completely strewn with trash as you walk across it.
It's fucking gross in here. But, alright, I start making my way over to where the boys are.
Okay. As you guys see Voldeck kind of come your direction, you do see there's at least a few netrunners who have at this point kind of disconnected from their interfaces and are kind of watching what's going on.
Ooh, can I throw a perception on?
Sure.
Alright.
You gotta use the dark and obscured though.
19. You do see that. I guess you weren't here. So there's about like 40 different cubicles here, maybe half of which have people in them. You see there's about like 3 or 4 that have kind of started to become onlookers, as well as one that looks scared shitless.
So, I'm gonna whisper into my comms. Guys, there's one guy that looks like he's tweaking the fuck out. Camerahead, I'm gonna send you... Can I send him a visual through my optic? Like,
no, you'd have to have like a camera optic for that. You have a targeting device.
Yeah, I'm the one with the camera optic.
Yeah.
You can just take a picture on your iPad and send it if you really wanted to.
Yeah, but that's so suspicious. Well, Camerahead, if you see anybody come out, what's the description of this guy, DM?
I already.
Yeah, so all these netrunners that you're kind of seeing have very heavily modified kind of ocular stuff going on. Most of them have like a single screen bar strapped across their face, as well as most of them have some sort of interface located either on the front or the back of their head. So most of them are bald.
Gotcha. Well...
Oh, and they're all wearing very weird-looking kind of nylon hoodies that are very crinkly and shimmer in the lights.
Gotcha. Well, Camerahead, make sure you keep an eye on the door. There's a guy that looks like he's about to bolt, and he might be somebody we need to talk to. Maybe, Deacon, you could converse with him and maybe get some information. He might be somebody we're looking for.
Good
In
thinking.
terms of a connection.
Deacon, you hear Voldeck talking and looking at the guy that shift just scared shitless earlier.
Oh. And so I walk up to the pin pad, and then what is this? A basic tech or a cyber tech?
Yeah, no, this is going to be basic tech, and you don't have any modifiers since you're relatively familiar with this tech stuff.
Work your magic,
Alright.
Voldeck.
19. Oh, that's perception.
Yeah.
Oopsies.
I'm gonna roll for basic tech.
No!
Oh my god.
One try remaining.
Yeah, you go ahead and you watch as Voldeck kind of walks forward and trips on like an empty KFC bucket and just slaps the fucking pin pad.
Oh no.
And it just blips out with flashing red. One try remaining.
What is my 10 in tech useful for if not cyberware?
Can he
You
try
can try
again?
again, but honestly, I don't want to. I am a bit curious as to what the security in this place might be like, but I'm not that curious. Should we maybe try to find another way down?
I think we ought to give it one last try if we're just going to abandon this altogether.
I guess so,
Alright.
since we only
Yeah.
have one last try.
I'll try it one last time, you guys. I'm sorry for the critical failure.
Okay, but just in case, and I radio. Well, actually, I mean, it's the fucking future.
It's the fucking future.
Fucking Shift probably has like one of those like remote car starters on his keys. We should probably get the car warmed up in case we need to make a quick exit.
Yep.
All right, you want to try? You want to give it one more shot, Voldeck?
Yeah, I'll give it one more.
Wait, did the car start up?
I started it up.
Alright, so I kind of wake up because I was actually sleeping.
On a side note, I may in the future give some of my marksmanship skill to basic tech and cyber tech.
But you gotta have aim.
Yeah, you gotta be the sniper.
Yeah.
Well, I currently have a 12 in marksmanship
Jeez.
and a 10 in ref, whatever that was, whatever related to that.
Reflex.
And I have
Reflex.
and I have a 1+ marksmanship modifier, so I can afford some points in basic tech. Anyway, the roll. Oh, okay.
So 16. Good. You do see Jack Deacon earlier's try was very similar to yours, and his did not work. So before you push in that last number on the pin pad, would you like to do anything?
Use your luck points.
Ah, shit.
Luck points.
You're so right.
What's that bird saying up there?
Let's see here. I don't have any net running interface skills. Shit. Yeah, I probably should use some luck points. 1 or 2. What's the?
I
I have 7.
have a feeling that DC's 20, but don't listen to me.
Well,
So that would be 4 points.
that's a lot of luck points, though. What if I need them? Screw it. Alright, I'll throw 4 into there.
Yeah, you go ahead and you throw 4 luck points as your finger kind of flickers over what you think the last pin number is before finally pushing it in. And you all see as with like kind of a little bit of a green beep, the pin pad shuts off and the grate kind of flies open. You see that there's a single ladder that descends into a dark pit.
Got him, boys. Without a hitch.
All right. I crawl in and I slide down the ladder.
Everything else?
What do I see down there, by the way?
So I guess, yeah, you go in first, and looking in there, as you land at the bottom with kind of a clank as your boots hit the metal cellar. Looking in, you see kind of much of what it looks like up there with the same scheme, with a lot of kind of bean bags here in kind of this what looks to be central hub. There's no partitions, it's more of just a single cellar room. And you do see kind of various people who at this point, it looks like they were jacked in, and there's a thick haze.
They were jacking off.
There's a thick haze of some sort of foul-smelling smoke, as it looks like maybe this was some sort of drug den. But you do see that there's several people down there now, including the one that you saw before. About 3 people in total, and it looks like they're kind of digging through crates and immediately jump up as you come sliding down.
Is there?
You see that they're basically arming themselves as they're pulling guns out.
Is there like something I can die behind for cover?
There's lots of bean bags, but this is just a single room.
Okay, I'm gonna say get down here right now, and I'm gonna immediately look at them and be like, this doesn't have to go this way, and try to stop them from pulling guns on me.
You see what kind of this center guy looks. Yeah, so there's about 3 people in there, one of which kind of looks like he's the equivalent of a boss, or manager, perhaps, as he looks like he was maybe sitting at the desk in the back. But he's kind of wearing kind of like a black version of the nylon hoodies, and is holding a shotgun, as he has like his entire frontal lobe basically drilled out for cybernetics.
I'm gonna slide down the ladder.
Can I try to do a face down again to like try to de-escalate the situation slightly?
Yeah, he basically goes, yeah, and you can just head right back up where you came from. So go ahead and roll face downs. He got a 9.
Ooh. Wow. Holy shit, dude.
Nice.
Don't mock me.
So as you guys have basically busted into this guy's building and come here at him, you're very threatening. but it doesn't look like he's gonna back down as he still has guns pointed at you.
Well, at least he has a
Although
minus.
they look a lot.
At least he has a minus.
They do
Do I
look a
have
lot
any
more
kind of
worried.
Okay. Do I have any kind of vantage point from the ladder, like atop the ladder?
No, so the ladder basically goes straight down into the cellar.
Okay. Then I'm gonna start hopping down the ladder too.
Okay.
And when I get to the bottom, I'm gonna set up the briefcase, not open it, but just kind of set it up and crouch lower
this
behind it.
this is a pretty small cellar. I mean, the whole thing. This is about 20 meters here in this room, at its biggest point. So it kind of just goes straight into like this kind of cellar full of beanbags and drugs.
And sorry, how many guys did you say there were? 4?
There's 3 and the boss.
Okay, 3 and the boss. Okay.
But the boss has been successfully intimidated, so the boss will get a -3 to everything he does.
Oh, shit, I should have grabbed cameraman's pistol.
Does like my radio, like I radioed to everyone, so does that like wake up cameraman?
Yeah, cameraman's woken up. I think he's eating dinner though.
He was woken up after the car started up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cameraman, what are you doing?
I'm just chilling in Cedar Rapids. Are they radioing me or something? 'Cause right now I don't-
Yes.
I radio to everyone, get down here now.
Okay, so I guess I get out of the car and I come back in. I run back to where they finally unlocked the cellar that we had so much problems with, and guess I head down the ladder. I bring my pistol, of course, and I bring all of the helmets in case we need them.
Okay, so you're basically just carrying a ton of stuff. What's
Yeah,
your
I'm running,
movements?
Nobody's gonna kill me. What's my movement? That's a good question. Where's movement?
It's one of your main attributes.
Oh, yeah. It's 4.
4. Okay, so yeah, it's gonna take. It's like you're getting there. You're like grabbing all the shit and getting in there right now. But you see that you have the 3 versus 4 here in the cellar, guns drawn as the. The boss. He also doesn't want this to go down since he understands that he will die probably. But so with a lot less of an intimidating voice, he's just kind of like, okay, look, we don't gotta do this.
I mean, you're the one who drew guns first.
You're the ones that broke into my fucking shop.
I'm going to intervene. Jack is going to intervene and say, listen, doesn't have to, you're exactly right, doesn't have to be this way. Listen, the man upstairs was very kind enough to let us down here. No muss, no fuss. We're just here because we're looking for a certain gentleman. We heard that there was a particularly skilled net runner. We're looking for him because I'm a bit of admittedly, I'm a fan of net runners. I'm something of an enthusiast in that field, though I'm not one myself. So we're just looking for one guy. Doesn't need to be any fighting, and I don't think anybody wants to get shot in a room with this many beanbags. All right, can we agree? This is not a place that anyone wants to end their book. Agreed?
As he's trying to like defuse the situation, I'm also slowly putting my gun away. Hopefully that kind of helps.
You see the boss like, yeah, he's intimidated very much so by Shift, so he's going to take any opportunity he can here, basically. Alright, look here, Milkshake. I understand that half of what you just told me was basically lies. And he gestures back to his computer where you can see all the failed entries on the security system. But why don't you tell me who we're looking for, and maybe we can just work something out.
That's funny.
That is pretty funny. I'm Jack, not quite understanding what the insult of milkshake is exactly supposed to imply. I'm just gonna take it as a compliment.
It means you're a boy in the yard.
And that's what I was thinking. And Jack likes that type of attention. So, God damn it. Just gonna realizing that the last lie was kind of a fluke. He just straightens his jacket and goes, a gentleman by the name of Magellan.
Throwing our business out there like that.
Yeah, you basically see it like everybody's face kind of stiffen a little bit.
Is that a
No.
No.
taboo word?
So I'm guessing we can find Magellan here, or what's the long faces for?
I mean, you come here looking for one of the most notorious netrunners in Seattle, and you think that we have him? I'm almost impressed.
Well, we just heard that he hangs out here sometimes, and figured this would be a good place to look.
Well, I don't know. Who told you that?
Is he
He
lying?
ain't here.
Is he lying to us?
Make me a perception check.
Alright.
Perception or human perception?
He, is human, where's he? Oh, this is gonna be human perception.
Okay.
And
Can we all roll for this?
yes, and he's gonna go ahead and make a,
Thank you.
Persuasion roll with that -3
Thank you.
from the intimidation.
Thank you, everyone, because I'm about to roll human perception. It's going to be bad. Yep, there it is. 9.
I got you, fam. Don't worry.
My empathy is really low.
Yeah. Thank God we had Walter come down.
Me and Nate are the big dumb muscles of the group.
Yeah, fam. I decided to spec into useful things.
Yeah, so Camerahead and Jack, you guys just both immediately can just see through this guy's bullshit with your superior human understanding.
Oh man, it doesn't sound like he's here, guys.
Oh, you also see
Yeah,
at this
definitely
point,
not here.
you see at this point, Camerahead, I guess, comes downstairs holding 4 Kevlar helmets.
Alright, so it may sound like he's not here, but if y'all fell for that and y'all kind of stupid, I tossed them their helmets. It's like, alright, get ready.
Yeah. Thanks. This is gonna be necessary.
Are you guys putting on the helmets?
No.
I'm just gonna kind of hold it to my side like you do with like a bike helmet, and I'm just gonna.
What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna like put on the helmet and cross my arms and keep looking at the fucking boss.
Cool.
Yeah, if you hadn't successfully faced down, they might have fired at that, but yeah, good job.
Listen,
Real meaty right now.
listen, my good man. We heard that the last time that Magellan was seen, the last time we could confirm it at least, he was here. I'm not asking for all the specifics. I'm not asking what he did to get you so dang spooked. But we're just looking for anything to help us track him down. Have a nice little chat.
Look, anybody who sells out Magellan's gonna end up iced, alright? So if I'm gonna fucking do anything, you need to give me some insurance money, make me get out of the country. So how much you got?
I've got a stick of bubblegum.
Fuck you.
Okay.
I mean,
I've got my friend Shift here, who I'm sure you've already met. I've got my friend Camerahead here. I've got it. You get the general gist of what I'm getting here.
I mean,
now.
Oh no, go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, honestly, I was kind of just spinning the wheels. You can go.
I mean, regardless, your association with all this, nothing. Your name doesn't have to be mentioned, so I don't know why you need to get out of the country. Because I don't even know about you helping us. You know.
We don't even know your name.
Yeah.
You haven't even introduced yourself.
So if you point us in the right direction, we'll forget this interaction happened.
You would think, for even a second, that Magellan isn't listening at any given time, anywhere. You're in for a bad time. Fucking meatball.
I feel bad because I had an opportunity for like a pun earlier and I missed it. It was when he said that like you're gonna get iced. I was gonna say like, good thing I like the cold, but we kind of
and then when you beat his ass, you say, "Why don't you chill out?"
If you don't think that the entire net noticed the moment you walked into this place, you're fucking meathead sticking out like a sore thumb.
Oh, the internet's a pretty
Why
big
don't you
place.
get a new insult?
That's big.
Keep calling us meat.
That's big talk for someone within shift distance.
Listen, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to escalate. I need a plane ticket, or cash, if you want anything from me.
How much would you need?
I'll let
No,
I
hold
can
on,
get a
hold on.
plane ticket
I
for-
can quote that. Jack's gonna open up his smartwatch and find a reasonable find a reasonable price for a ticket. Where if you
Yeah, there's like a flight to Hawaii for like 200 eddies.
Wait, cameraman and I guess all you guys might have something in persuasion.
I don't.
I do have persuasion.
I also have bribery, but it doesn't sounds like he needs much convincing of that.
So,
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be.
I was just
Asking you to bribe him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can expense him a ticket right now.
Yeah. I can't.
I thought. Wait, how much money did we start with?
30 eddies and a stick of bubble gum.
Oh,
I
yeah.
believe for familiarity's sake, though, Jack Deacon, I believe, is speaking about the assets of his personal company.
Okay.
Hey, you can write that off. Company.
Yeah, I can say that's for vacation, and then company thinks I'm out of the country. I can kind of be a bit more direct in my business. Who knows? I'm just trying to do that thing like that show Millionaire Detective where he just fucking writes a check. It was just like, boom, let's solve crimes. So, yeah, I mean, if that's cool, I can expense this ticket.
Oh yeah. So you're basically taking 200 eddies out of your company's account,
Wonderful.
if that's what you want to do. Okay, so you go ahead and you make the transaction and basically wire a one-way plane ticket to this guy.
Now start talking.
He sees, you guys all see kind of behind him on his monitor that a notification kind of pops up from the massive conglomerate Alaska Airlines officiating the ticket.
All right.
And he kind of looks over at it and then looks back. All right, fine. And him and all of his boys kind of lower their weapons.
Now, was that so hard?
Yes.
Okay. I was asking a legitimate question.
Now, you boys looking for Magellan, you're probably going to end dead in a few hours. But I heard from some associates of mine that his last IP address was from a old lounge on the other side of town called Daisy's Dukes.
Daisy's Dukes, alright.
Okay.
All right.
So-
before we go any further, I have to go eat.
Does he go by any other names? That an alias maybe.
I mean, any version of Magellan. I don't know, explorer. He's very much so into the exploration theme of shit.
All right.
So,
What do you mean exploration?
I mean, fuck it. I mean, you go to his personal website and it's like the net's an ocean, and I'm gonna sail it. Kind of preppy aesthetic kind of fucker.
When he says that, can I switch to the log of the people who came in and look for any sort of name that relates to exploration?
Yeah, sure. You go ahead and you control F, and just look up exploration, and you see that like a few weeks ago there was like a 2-week check-in check-out from somebody called the Explorer 420XX.
So he was here.
I mean, I can neither confirm nor deny.
Well, thanks. Thanks for your help. Enjoy your trip to wherever you're going.
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Enjoy your trip. Where did he say that Magellan might be again? I was updating my notes.
Daisy's.
Daisy's Dukes, which is a lounge in the nicer part of town.
Daisy's Dukes.
Can I also do an internet search to cross-reference that name, the Explorer 420XX, with other places he could have checked in? I guess that would be kind of a difficult thing to do, but
Yeah, so that's gonna be a basic tech roll, and that's gonna probably be with never done before,
yeah, fair enough. Never done with
and maybe no instructions.
no instructions. Okay, basic tech.
Never been done before, no instructions.
So zero, a
Critical
zero,
failure.
and a zero. Subtract 8 from the roll.
With a critical failure, you see as you try to type in, you try to search Zoogle for the thing, and you just kind of drop your iPad.
Oh fuck my life! Is it broken?
Hits the floor with a crack.
But I have an otter case on it. Is the screen busted?
All right. Trust. Go ahead and roll. I don't know what the roll would be. Your otter case has a decent kind of dent in it. Suppressive fire.
I didn't mean to click that.
As Shift opens fire into the crowd.
Is my iPad okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. All right. I kind of suck at technology. Anybody else?
I got you.
I'll look at him and kind of slide over the name from my iPad to his. See if you can find any other locations where that name's associated with.
Yep. So what is that gonna be? Young Tom.
Oh, that'll be basic tech.
All right. There we go.
Ooh, nice.
Let's see here.
19.
Not a 19. So you go ahead and you cross-reference the name of the Explorer 420XX with various interesting social media sites, along with the use of the Magellan, and you surprisingly don't seem to find anything.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
It looks like either, from what you can tell, this guy either has a very sophisticated VPN or uses different usernames for every single thing he does.
Okay.
Which wouldn't surprise me too much if he's this notorious runner.
Yeah, either way, it looks like he's covered his tracks, so...
Well, I guess we know where to start again, at least.
Before we leave, though, I also want to cross-check the name of the place he told us to check out.
Oh, Daisy's Dukes?
Yeah.
So
I'm going to look that up really quick.
Like the username plus the place, or are you just looking up the...
The place. I just want to make sure he's not sending us on a goose chase.
Okay. Yeah, you go ahead and you can look up the Daisy's Dukes Lounge, and you find their website, and it looks like they're just kind of like a public lounge. In 2078, it becomes very hard with the rent crisis and the housing crisis and the other crisis for people to necessarily find permanent housing. So there are various kind of lounges that pop up that are a little bit less private than motels and hostels and whatnot, but it's basically like a public space where people can kind of gather for a nominal fee and have access to a shower and a bunk and just hang out if they need somewhere safe to go.
Okay.
But you see Daisy's Dukes is one of these kinds of lounges. It looks like it was done by an ex-rocker boy, and you can see that she has links to albums that her band put out a decade ago.
Cool. Alright. Well, I think we're done here, guys.
Thanks for the assistance. I'll be sure not to tell anyone the password to that vent there.
Man, I just hope I live to see Hawaii.
Yep. Shall
Right. Well, See you.
Yeah. Fuck
I'm
it.
gonna start heading up the ladder.
Yeah, I guess I'll
Alright.
fall behind.
As you guys go ahead and you walk up and out, you do see at this point basically everybody in the building has jacked out and is basically just watching you do the Baywatch like walk out or the Armageddon walk as you leave.
As we're walking out, the guy that I intimidated, I do a little wink at him as I walk out.
He shivers.
And then I blow him a kiss.
He is confused.
You better be. And I do that thing where no,
No, you gotta.
I'm not even. I was gonna say that like he does the thing where you put your like your index and your middle finger up to your mouth and do the thing with your tongue. But that is so out of character.
No, you got to do the thing where you like readjust your suit by grabbing the inside and like fluffing it out.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then I give him a little salute, a little 2-finger of just like, see you around, pal. Oh man.
Right. So are we out on the street now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are back in the parking lot. You see, it's late afternoon, early evening, so the sky is starting to kind of get a tinge orange as the sun goes down. You do see, nobody's giving a shit about your beater car, so people are just kind of continuing on the busy streets as the neon traffic lights kind of hover overhead.
Is there any presence of cops?
No.
So that cop didn't come back at all. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we should head to the Daisy's Dukes then. Unless
Yeah.
there's another suggestion.
No, that seems alright to me. I would like to stop, I would like to grab a pistol, but I don't know how much that's going to run me. I'm going to look that up really quick.
How much Eddies do you have?
I have, nothing, actually, now that I think about it. I only have,
$5.
You can buy a lot with
5.
nothing. And then
Yeah, so your average pistol. So in this version of Cyberpunk Red, eddies are relatively. Inflation hasn't been super high, surprisingly. Every single time that the economy falls and is remade, it kind of levels up out to net zero inflation.
Mm-hmm.
So your pistol's gonna run you as much as it would in say 2020. It's about like anywhere from 75 eddies for the cheapest pistol you could possibly get, to if you want something that's super sophisticated with technology that can cloak or tase, several $100s, maybe even $1,000 for something automatic.
Yeah. What kind of edits can I put on my sniper with my tech tools? I guess that's a question for when we're in a more secure place.
Yeah, if you want to edit your sniper rifle, there's of course things you can do, such as give it different types of qualities, as well as different types of ammunition you could potentially choose to use.
Nice.
But yeah, you'd have to look through a catalog or something to get the full suite of everything you can do.
Yeah, is there anywhere I can look for that? Just passively?
Well, we have to wait for Walter to finish eating, so
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, just briefly, as I've listed in the custom rules, and for those of you who are at home, the Cyberpunk Red Jumpstart rules are some of the most bare bones rules that I've ever seen. So, we are making a few custom rules here and there for things like vehicles and weapons and cybernetics.
Okay.
But for instance, some weapon qualities you could get is something you could make it like a taser sniper rifle, so something that would shoot electrical charged rounds.
So I wouldn't kill somebody, but I'd be able to immobilize them.
You would not be able to kill anybody with that, no.
Yeah.
Or you could get something like a cloak, so you wouldn't even have to worry about putting it in a case.
Ooh, I like that.
And of course, there's other things you could get. There's smaller things you could do that just increase stats or damage here and there. But yeah, for heavy built modification, there's stuff like that. or depending on what you want to do.
I was gonna say, I'm thinking of I don't know about putting like a little blade on it. I just want to be able to be more comfortable in close combat situations.
Could put a close quarter shotgun at the bottom railing.
Yeah, you could put a bayonet on it for sure if you wanted to, or like an underbarrel shotgun would
Yeah,
be
That's-
possible.
yeah, that'd be ideal. Having a shotgun ready in case somebody gets up close and personal.
Also,
Yeah, that would be a very heavy modification though, to put a whole underbarrel shotgun on it, and it probably, as an attachment, wouldn't necessarily deal as much as a normal shotgun necessarily, depending on what you do.
Yeah, I mean it's more for an emergency situation rather than my daily driver, you know, because I'm gonna be trying to be, I guess, farther away. But the more I'm thinking about it, how often are we gonna be in sniping scenarios?
Depends on if you set those up or not.
And a
Yeah,
sawed-off shotgun might be pretty cheap, or cheaper, comparably.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I mean, you could get something like an automatic pistol,
Yeah.
for as cheap as like 125 eddies or something.
Mhm.
I mean, probably not that one with a silencer on it,
Yeah.
but
Matt, I like that video you posted.
Yeah. Just because as soon as I'm assuming you have like an SMG like in your coat.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So I always think of that scene from The Gentleman when he just like fucking pulls out the SMG. That was a good movie. I liked that movie. Kind of racist against Asians, but good movie.
Oh, damn. So are we just killing time until Walter's back?
yeah, you guys went back out in the parking lot and immediately started chewing on toothpicks.
Oh, I throw in my bubble gum.
No, I mean, if you guys want to go anywhere right now, you can.
I don't really have
Hammerhead's
the money
with
to. I would like to either get a pistol or get a modification on this gun.
I mean, you don't have the money for it, do you?
Yeah.
Might have to wait till you're done this job and we get paid. Because I'm not really feeling the funds either. Had a rough couple of months.
That is expense to fucking bribery, like a fucking like real big dick energy there.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Well,
Yeah,
can I make my own modifications? I mean,
You could, but you would have to. It would take time, and then you would
Okay.
also have to have the materials,
yeah.
which would be cheaper.
Yeah.
As you guys are all standing around eating your bubble gum,
I'm chewing
yeah,
a
Jack Deacon,
I'm chewing a toothpick.
you get a call on your smartwatch. You see on the caller ID it is from Terrell Baldwell, a member of your board of directors.
Of course, here it comes. I answer the call.
Immediately, the moment you press call, you just hear like very hoity-toity and also angry on the other end of the line. Mr. Deacon, did you buy a plane ticket to Hawaii?
It was called leveraging an asset. I had someone who was agreeing to give information in exchange for something in return.
Exchange for what? This was significantly, not significantly, but it would have added an extra $2 to the board of directors' dividend next week, and you know how much they enjoy those.
An extra $2. Wow. Better halt all those upcoming conferences then.
Those conferences that you promised to be at.
And I will, once I'm done with my business out here. There are negotiations to be done, and I promise I will keep other expenses to a minimum. But let's just be glad that I went for a cheaper ticket to bribe this guy.
I'll just remember you, Mr. Deacon, that when you took over the company, you did promise that not that many things would change for us, and everybody is on edge.
And I apologize.
And with that, he just hangs up.
How like audible was that call for all of us to hear?
I don't know, Jack, was it on speakerphone?
Knowing Jack, he probably like let's just say it was on speakerphone.
As soon as like the call hangs up, Ethan kind of laughs and be like, "Good to know that execs have to deal with silver spoon assholes too."
You don't know the half of it.
While we're waiting for camera hit to recharge here, do we want to go for a joyride?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll get in the car and we'll toss Camerahead's recharging body in the back, and I guess we'll go for a joyride. Well, I'll drive around like the streets I know.
Mm-hmm. Could I attempt to put a camera optic on my original Cyberware eye?
Terrell Bodwell.
Oh, you put it in the distance.
Like, along with the marksmanship, I'd be able to take cameras, record.
That is exactly who I imagine was on the other
pictures,
end of the phone.
To answer your question, Nate, so you could get multiple cybernetic implants in one eye, but the more that one thing can do, the bigger it tends to be, as well as the more expensive it is. So you could have one eye that can do all those things, but it might like also take up part of the side of your face in it.
Okay.
So depending on how you want to go with it, you could do that, or you could just have two cybernetic eyes that do different things.
If I wanted to get cybernetic eyes that could see in the dark, like how minimalist are they? Like, could they just like look like?
Oh, night vision eyes are pretty. I mean, it depends on what you want, but just like your typical green vision.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for.
Yeah, that your kind of run of the mill kind of Militech isn't too expensive.
Okay.
An operation like that would probably be like 300 eddies.
Okay.
You can always go to the Aeromech. Aeromech military surplus. Actually, that's the company that made these military pistols here.
Okay. Oh, is this going to be like Borderlands where we have favorite brands?
If you want it to be.
Maybe.
As you look around, you do see like the vending machine next to you is full of like water bottles and says Life Co. on the side of it.
Nice.
I would like to.
Life Co.
I would like to tell
Live your
everyone
life.
that Jacobs is the best brand in Borderlands, and there's no argument.
I don't even remember that brand here. Let me look that up.
They're like revolvers and stuff.
Yeah,
I have a big problem because I really am not a huge fan of Torg, but I probably use more of their weapons than anybody else's.
Just because of the fucking like sheer memory of their weapons, somewhat.
No, they're fucking good.
I know. I don't know. I just don't like shooting like sticky bombs and shit at people.
Well, I
I'm
have
definitely more of
for
a
it.
Jacobs kind of man.
I
But
think
I
like
always played the melee route.
aesthetic-wise, I think Vladoff is my favorite.
Oh, Vladoff is nice, yeah. I pretty much throughout my run of Borderlands 3, I almost always had all my weapons being Jacobs.
Damn.
I was a loyal owner.
Yeah, no, Torg is good because I have the Siren who has the build for it.
Dude, my favorite revolver was the one where you get a headshot and a bullet returns to the magazine. I fucking love that revolver. It's so good.
That's pretty dope. Pictures.
Is there anybody else that anything wants to do that isn't... I guess the question is, where are you guys going next after this?
I mean, we were going to go to Daisy Dukes, but I did say we were going to do a joyride in my car to kill time.
Okay, go ahead. Why don't you make me a driving check?
All right.
Oh yeah, Jacobs does make some cool stuff. You're right. It's been so long since I played it, but I do remember the brands being really cool.
Come on. There we go.
25. So are you trying to just go as fast as this is a joyride, right?
Oh yeah, we're cruising.
So the rest of you in this car basically see as Shift with his beater that's going way too fast in the crowded downtown metropolis is just kind of weaving in and out of different lanes, like cutting people off of the crosswalk but not hitting them. Just going fast throughout the neighborhoods. Go ahead and make me a... Make me another driving check.
No!
Do you have a goal?
Oh.
As you continue to speed,
Damn this car, it's holding me
as
back.
you continue to speed and you make for another, like left-hand turn without looking, you do see just a little bit too late a pedestrian in front of you.
Oh no.
Fuck.
Are we killing people now? I'm back.
Oh. God damn it, I was drunk.
Camerahead, as you wake up, you hear a sickening thud as there's an impact from the vehicle. Shift, do you continue driving?
No,
There better have been a raccoon.
I stop. Is this person dead? I get out.
With how fast you were going, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Here's the deal, guys. Dead body. We should probably change cars.
Hold on. I may have tuned out for like half a second there. What the hell just happened?
I failed the driving check. I got a critical failure and I hit a pedestrian and killed them.
See that there's like a crowd because this is super packed downtown, just watching.
I am.
Jack's gonna have his helmet on because he doesn't want,
I
and he's just gonna be shaking his head.
I immediately, I already took off my helmet, but I turned the jacket of Griffon inside and out so no one can see that.
Okay.
And
So you stop the car, correct?
Don't stop the car.
Fucking
We're
go!
just gonna bring attention.
Okay, we're going. Fuck it.
Fucking go!
We're driving.
Okay.
Go. You have to make another.
Make me another driving check.
Please no critical failure. There you go.
Critical success.
There you go.
All right.
Oh
So
my
you guys
God.
you guys get like a solid like 3 neighborhoods over before you pull into like an alleyway, and it doesn't sound like anything's coming after you. So you breathe a sigh.
I kind of turn around and be like, well, we're gonna blame that on the car's handling. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, we might need to do something about the like.
You might need new license plates.
yeah.
Oh, and Cole, this doesn't really impact anything that just happened, but keep in mind that when you're making driving checks, you'll have to add your engine modifier to the roll.
Okay, and my engine's only 1 though, right?
Yeah, so you'll get a +1 to every roll.
Okay. Well, let's head to Daisy Dukes. Yeah.
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 Yeah,
Glad Camerahead was asleep when we killed that man. So we didn't record.
Well, what, man? What are you talking about?
It's a life.
Don't worry about
It's
it.
a life out here, all right. It's a rough life.
Yeah. This is Seattle.
But you know what? That was some exciting, fun driving adventures we had today. Look at that.
Yeah.
How you doing back there, kids? Doing good?
Something to wake up to.
Oh yeah, I
You
forgot
want
I'm in the
McDonald's?
back. Cameron's gonna wake up and we're like desperately like painting the car a different color.
Okay. So you guys eventually make your way to the upper end of the city. Maybe not speeding as much as you were, or maybe you are. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I am.
Fucking for it.
Oh, you are speeding?
Oh hell yeah.
I'll need you to make me another driving check.
Here we go, shift.
No, listen,
Classic shift.
please don't critical fail me. There we go. There we go.
Okay.
A ridiculous.
You guys
driving.
make it- So that's a 36. You guys basically see after Shift's bloodlust has been sated, his driving just becomes pitch perfect as he guys gets you like all the way across the city in like 4 minutes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but eventually you guys pull up in front of Daisy Dukes. You see it kind of looks maybe like a retrofitted pub from one point. It has like a very bright storefront on the above the door. There's like a very large neon sign of like pink lips, and it says Daisy Dukes on the front.
I walk around to the front of my car. Is there any damage?
It's a little blood.
No, not from the pedestrian you hit. There is some blood.
Motherfucker ruined my
We
paint
should
job.
probably get the blood wiped off.
Don't worry, it's a beater anyway. At least it still looks nice on the inside.
True. Thank you, by the way. All right. I guess I don't really have anything to wipe it down with, unless someone else does. Lick it up, bitch.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of just got to deal with it.
Yeah.
I've got a handkerchief.
Do you want to
Pull that out.
Do you want to sully that?
No, I just wanted you to know that I have it.
Can I throw a perception check up?
Sure.
Just to make sure that there's nothing. I mean, we're kind of at our location.
He's gonna
Might be
notice
some-
a napkin on the floor.
17. So you see, this is the nicer, kind of higher up area of Seattle. So you do see more people like wearing suits and more corporate stuff here, and less slums. Most of the buildings are marked with something.
Mm-hmm.
You do see that though that there is still a large amount of crowds, just the nature of a big city. And you also see standing in front of Daisy's Dukes what looks to be a corporate man in like a gray and white suit, who looks like he's sweating profusely.
All right.
I nudge Jack and be like, I think that guy needs your handkerchief.
Are you guys still in the car at this point?
No, I got out.
I
Okay.
did. We were all standing inside the car.
Quick question, Tom. What does concentration rolls do?
Concentration rolls are required for any time that you would try to remember something, or if you're being interrogated, perhaps, if you want to stand up to torture, or if you wanted to, like, make a sniper shot that's 800 meters away, but there's helicopter blades next to you.
I see. Possibly an important thing.
Possibly
For a
an important thing for a sniper. Now, as you guys get out of the cars, are you still wearing your Kevlar helmets?
I
No,
would say...
Yeah, I feel like that would get I feel like that would get in the way of my trying to be incognito and try.
Yeah, well, it does completely cover your face, too.
Yeah.
Also, we don't want to seem like we're storming the place.
Yeah, that's
we're
the
not
thing.
in a bad part of town anymore.
Do I have like
Yeah.
a bag in the car, like a backpack or something?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say you have that duffel. Not one that fits a sniper rifle, but a duffel.
Could I throw?
Well, I have my thingy.
Could I throw my helmet in there?
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll throw my helmet in there, and I'll sling it over my shoulder. The bag.
Is there enough room for another?
Is there?
There's enough
How
room
many of our
for
helmets?
there's enough room for 4 helmets, but it would be very bulky and kind of heavy.
That's okay.
Hmm.
All right then. I'm gonna go up to that guy who's like sweating profusely. I'm gonna be like, "Buddy, you okay?"
So, I'm gonna look around. Is there any like fire escapes or like higher up places that I can get a better vantage?
So Nate first, to answer your question with your previous perception check, this is a nicer part of town. Things are less packed together, so most of the buildings here do have alleyways and fire escapes.
Mm-hmm.
You see directly across the street from Daisy's Dukes, looks to be some sort of tenement building that goes up like 8 stories, so it's pretty high up.
Okay. I would say getting up onto the first story, like
the
higher
balcony?
stairs. Yeah, on the balcony would be good. But am I
Okay.
able to get up there?
Yeah, I mean, you can just take the fire escape to get to the first balcony, but you're going to be like outside somebody's door.
Ooh. Can't I just chill on the stairs?
You could chill on the fire escape if you chose to.
Yeah, I'm gonna go do that.
Okay.
I'll keep my Kevlar on, and I got my sniper in the bag with me.
So Jack, you watch as Voldeck just kind of makes it a beeline across the street as you kind of go up to this corpo. You go up to him, and the moment you say anything to him, he just goes, "Don't touch me! Sorry."
That's fine. I'm not touching you. You just look a little startled. Something wrong?
Yeah. I mean, no. No.
Be careful over there, guys. We did have a suicide bomber on the news this morning.
I pull a toothpick and I kind of gesture. Want one?
No, thank you. I'm sorry. Are you trying to get in here? He takes like 2 steps over to the left.
I mean, well, why are you freaking out, man? Got something to hide?
What? No.
You sure?
Me?
Can I make a perception check or a human perception?
Yeah,
check?
go for it. Human perception.
Even though.
I mean, Jack, you think that the guy just maybe lost a ton of money or something?
Yeah.
Hey.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, so that's 20.
Even though that's like my worst stat.
Ooh.
I mean, hey man, a 20's a 20,
Yeah.
which is just above competent.
Hey.
Yeah, you take a look at this guy because you've seen people underneath stress before, and you can see that like something is bothering this man to the very core of his being. You see fear in his eyes.
Listen, man, what's freaking you out? Maybe I can help you out.
I don't think you can. Listen, you should leave.
Why is that?
You should leave.
Why is that?
Really. Don't
ask questions.
stop saying that. Stop saying words.
I mean, what? Someone's gonna phone you. You gotta pick up the phone call. You blow up. Kind of that?
What? I listen.
Okay,
Listen.
I should probably. Hey,
I'm trying to like intimidate him a bit.
You're trying to intimidate him?
Sure.
Make
God.
a... you can make an interrogation if you want to.
Oh no, I took all my points out of that. That's fine.
sir.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
Okay, is something up with your rolls? What is going on?
Dear God, I'm lucky.
You just had 4 crits in a roll.
This is not normal.
This is not.
Yeah.
Well, so what it's worth. So for what it's worth, criticals and failures in this game are at a 10% chance.
Yeah.
Unlike D&D where it's 5%.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
So a 10% chance is a lot higher. But yeah, a critical success.
Go
as
get a
you
lottery
kind of-
ticket today, Cole.
You see that this man just basically doubles the amount of sweat coming down his face as he kind of stumbles to pull out a handkerchief and dab at his forehead.
He dabs.
So, using a goddammit,
Fucking hell.
using some stealth, I'm gonna attempt to get my gun out of the briefcase and just have a bead on this guy.
Okay, roll me stealth.
Wow, jeez. Fuck
Aren't
this
you in a
dude,
public area?
He's on a fire escape. So he's like,
okay.
you are in an alleyway.
Oh, okay.
Is this guy like? So this guy's wearing like a suit, right?
Yeah, he's wearing a suit.
Does it look more bulky than it could be? Like, does it look like it fits his?
Voldeck, with that stealth roll, you're probably fine. Unless anybody walks in the alleyway, they might see you, but right now you're fine.
Like, does it look like it
Can
fits
I
his
try-
body type, or
Okay.
is it bulky?
Make me a normal perception roll.
Okay.
Am I stealthy?
Yeah, you're stealthy.
There we go.
Okay,
I'm a
cool.
normal person. There you go.
You don't necessarily see anything shift, but Jack, with your 29 critical success,
Jesus Christ.
even though you weren't really sure if he was lying or not before, you do see just kind of like when he lifts up his tie to dab at his forehead, you see kind of like in between the ruffles of his shirt, like a red wire.
Sir, and I want to make it clear that I'm not here in any capacity to mean you any harm or undue stress, but did someone do something to you? Or did somebody put you up to this?
What? I'm suspicious, you're suspicious.
I'm not.
No, you're suspicious.
I never said you were suspicious, sir.
You're a lot more suspicious than I am.
That I will not deny in the slightest.
I mean, deflecting
I'm what's called-
blame means something you have something to hide, right?
I'm something of a negotiator. And it seems to me as though somebody has put you up to do something rather unseemly, given current events. I am asking you to work with me so that I might help you, so that we can all go our separate ways and resume our lives as typical.
As you continue talking, you see him slowly like backing up down the sidewalk. Yeah, I mean, hey, you're fucking suspicious as hell. Go in our separate ways. I can work with that. You just.
I wouldn't let this guy go.
So long as your separate way doesn't involve a public place with a lot of people in it.
He's gonna make a human perception check to see if he can figure out what you're telling him. Let me pull up his character sheet.
Oh man, I was gonna say something to him, but I don't know if it's a good idea.
20, yeah, critical success. As you say public place, you know, you can see his eyes kind of light up a little bit, and he just goes ahead and he turns and just books it down the sidewalk.
Should I take a shot, team?
Go for the leg.
Wait,
For the leg.
Wait, is he like still in the middle of public though? Well,
Yeah, I mean, you guys are just like on the sidewalk.
I mean, if we shoot him and he blows up, that's gonna kill tons of people. It's probably not a good look for us.
Should we let him run?
Wow, Shift, that's very thoughtful of you, Mr. Orphan Killer.
Hold on. That hasn't.
This is earlier in his character arc. He hasn't become that jaded
Hold
yet.
on. We haven't got there yet. That's in a blockbuster 10 years from now.
I forgot. Never mind.
Voldeck, if you want to hit him in the leg, this is going to be a headshot modifier.
I know, but do we want to take the shot? We have limited time here.
I mean, if we're in the middle of public and he blows, it's not a good idea for a... Like, we could get hurt, kill a lot of people. I mean, mainly it's going to hurt our image. We let him run, he blows himself up somewhere else, not our problem.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Can somebody at least tell him to stop? I feel like he's our only lead right now.
I mean,
don't even know-
our lead's in the building, not him.
The problem is we don't know it. We don't know if he. Listen, right now, a bomb about to blow. Listen, I'm thinking that a negotiator probably has a better chance of talking the guy out of blowing up than other people.
I mean, I was gonna
So,
go tell him if he wants to kill himself, hang himself in his apartment. Don't make it trouble for us.
Maybe you and I should. Okay, actually, maybe Shift and I should go after the bomber, and Voldeck and Camerahead should go into the building and continue with the main mission.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, because you've been rolling like fucking crazy, like rolling crits like crazy.
But also, now you've cursed me. Now it's all failures from now on.
Yeah, it's gonna be 4 failures in a row, and he's gonna kill himself.
Maybe, but yeah, I'd say this is. So I'd say we should probably try to go after him.
All right. I guess we'll start booking it after him.
Yeah.
Okay, do I have a vantage point into the building? Is there windows?
There are not windows you can see through, no.
Okay. Then I'll have to come down off my perch.
Are we just gonna barge in the front door? Or
So So I put my sniper away, come down, I'm standing with the cameraman. I'm like, you better start rolling, because we're about to make a scene.
I'm gonna leave.
So Jack, Deacon, and Shift are going after the innocent corp agent, and Voldeck and Camerahead are going into Daisy's Dukes.
Yes.
Okay. We'll go ahead and do Nate and Walter first. So you guys walk into the lounge that is Daisy's Dukes. And I'm just going to drag everybody there so you can see. But as you walk inside, it's a very kind of
Classy.
warm-looking, classical lounge. You see that kind of on the walls, there's all sorts of old pictures, and as well as vinyl records, which are still in style for hipsters. You do see, it looks like there's only like one or two individuals here, either in booths, drinking coffee, or tapping on a laptop. As well as you see kind of behind the counter of what's probably a bar, somebody who looks up as you walk in. And I will find a picture here in a moment, because I don't know where I saved it. Here it is.
Alrighty. So I'm gonna turn on my my cyber optics as suggested to me by Voldeck.
Ooh, she's sexy.
This weird pun.
I'm definitely gonna go a perception check as per character. I always want to be aware.
Okay.
If I get caught in a brawl, I'm screwed.
Yeah, you are long range, man.
Yeah.
18. With an 18, so you look around. This is a very cozy looking lounge. It looks like Daisy has definitely kind of made it form and function for her personal taste. Because there's all sorts of like neon roses on the walls, along with, like I said, tons of framed pictures and vinyls on the wall, most of which looks like it's associated with her own band from back in the day. The two other individuals here look like average run-of-the-mill civvies. One of them's probably a tech, the other looks like some sort of corporate agent, maybe. And as well as Daisy, who gives you a very bright smile from the counter.
Well, I guess I'll walk up to the counter and I'm gonna just say, "Hey, you got anything to drink?"
Well, hey, sugar. Yeah, we got all sorts of things. What fits your fancy?
Oh, talk to me more like that, Tom.
Fuck off.
Tom, I know how you're feeling. One of my players always tries to seduce women, and I'm like, please stop.
How about I get myself a gin and tonic?
Gin and tonic? Coming right up. And you, sir? She kind of points a pinky finger over at Camerahead.
I think I'll hold off on the drinks.
Alrighty. Now, normally that'd be 3 eddies, but I always give a 3 eddy discount for a pretty face.
Oh, well, thank you.
Look at you.
She goes about mixing your drink, and before long you have Alex's favorite gin and tonic in front of you.
I'm sipping on it.
Yeah, so the two of you are like standing at the counter, and she kind of like leans down a little bit. So what can I do you for?
We're looking for a friend of ours. Probably got some kind of cybernetics on his head, and probably is going to be a little more on the spacey type, if you know what I mean.
I don't know, Sugar. I got a lot of people coming in and out every day. You have to be more specific.
You kind of just described half of Seattle.
Yeah, you're right. Help me out. What was his name?
I think
I'm not talking to her. I'm talking to you, cameraman.
I probably slept through that.
Magellan?
Magellan.
He also asked over the radio.
Yeah. Well, how about I just typed it into our comms on I just typed it into our comms on like my watch or some shit.
He also likes to go by names that have to do with exploration and stuff. So, look out for.
Okay.
He probably is one under the Enterprise or something like that.
Mm-hmm. So he's more of the explorative type. Goes by the name of Magellan.
The explorative type could mean a lot of things.
I'm not sure.
Hey.
We should have just threw his name out there, considering
I
the reaction
mean-
we got from the last bunch.
Yeah. How about you do the talking here?
Yeah, Camerahead does
Walter.
have good conversation.
Aren't we all kind of the experimental type here, Sugar?
Well, this individual, our friend that we're looking for, not this individual. That's suspicious. Yeah,
You say this to her.
it was like side note. Yeah, I wish I could. I may have missed a few details while I was eating. So,
Mhm.
did I
I'm gonna
miss
need-
anything important? Like, why are we here at Daisy Duke?
Oh, jeez. So we came to Daisy Dukes because while we were in the cellar, we basically bribed the man that was threatening us into telling us like some leads on where to find Magellan, as well as some of the tag names that he uses.
Okay.
And he said the last time his IP address was tracked was here.
All right. Did we get any of the tag names?
The only name that we have
Wasn't
is
it like
the
XX Hentai Explorer?
the only name we have is Explorer 420XX.
Okay. All right. Thanks for that
So-
information. We need it, though. So can I get a conversation roll on?
It depends on what do you say?
I want to ask her. Damn, what do I say? It's a good ass question. It's hard.
Here, I'll be right back. I'm going to the bathroom. But I'm going to let my friend here do the talking real quick.
Cool. Oh, while he's at the restroom.
Alright, well, well, you think about that. We'll switch to
Right, cool.
Shift and Jack Deacon. You guys are booking it down the Seattle sidewalk, chasing after this corporate guy. He looks over his shoulder and sees you guys chasing him and just gets even more panicked.
Where's he running to? Like, is he running along the sidewalk?
He is running away.
No, but like, where is he running to? Like, exactly.
He's basically, he's following the sidewalk. This whole area is very crowded, and Uptown Seattle continues on for a long time.
Can
The current path he's following, Shift, from your local expert check earlier, eventually this road leads to a public park.
can I try to catch up to him and not like tackle him or anything, but kind of force him to turn into an alleyway, like I'm trying to cut him off in front of him.
Yeah, so to catch up to him, I need both of you guys. We're all going to make athletics rolls here.
All right.
Oh, jeez. What's going on?
Well, we switched perspective while you were in the bathroom.
Oh, okay,
What we
cool.
were doing.
And he is going to make his athletics checks under stress or attack. So he gets a 14. So Jack, you see as Shift starts to kind of close the gap between himself and the corporate agent. So you said you want to make him turn down an alleyway?
Yeah, I want to like try to cut him off so he knows the only way he can go is down an alley.
Cut him off so you mean get in front of him?
Yeah, like I want to force him to stop and turn into an alley.
Okay. So you guys kind of continue down this path. Why don't you make me a second athletics check? And he got an 8 this time.
I got a 16.
Okay, yeah, so Jack, you kind of catch up to where Shift was before, and Shift, you're able to kind of get around him, and he immediately kind of like stops and just looks for an out before kind of dashing into the nearest alleyway
Fallen.
as quickly as possible.
Is this a dead end alleyway or is it?
It is not. It looks like he's going for a fire escape near the end of the alleyway.
Is there a trash can near me?
There is a Lifeco recycling bin.
Recycling bin. I was gonna say, like, can I do the thing where, like, I take the lid off a trash can and throw it like a frisbee at him? But I don't think I could do that off a recycling bin. Or could I? Like, is it like a standard, like, dump truck would have to pick it up? Or is it like a small bin?
No, it's like one of the small ones that you would see next to a vending machine.
Okay, can I try to pick off the lid and throw it at him? Try to knock him off the ladder?
Sure. I mean, it's like one of those like kind of square bins with the opening on the front.
Oh,
So you rip the lid off of that and you chuck
Whoa.
it.
Oh,
shit.
Okay.
Go ahead. This is going to be an athletics check.
Okay. Any modifiers to that?
I don't think so. Unfamiliar equipment, because this is a really weird thing to throw.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Hey, still pretty good. 17.
And I guess I'll roll evasion for him. So.
Don't roll good.
And he's under stress or attack.
I'm gonna keep running forward because if he's not off the ground yet. He hasn't gotten to the fire escape though.
No, he hasn't. So you see Shift, you just kind of chuck that thing at him, and it hits him straight in the back, and he stumbles and falls down right before the fire escape.
Stop running. I want to, like, again, intimidate him, be like, stop running.
Yeah, you can make me an intimidation roll.
So interrogation, right?
Yep.
Okay, where's interrogation on here? Oh, here it is. Come on. There we go. Oh, I accidentally rolled it twice. The first one is the real one.
Okay, 14. Well, yeah, so 14. I think you still have the unfamiliar equipment modifier on.
Oh, you're right.
So 18. So you see, the sniveling kind of corp guy flips onto his back, like, propping himself up with one arm, and you see, like, at this point he's disheveled, and you can see where something's going on underneath his shirt, and he has a trigger clasped in his left hand.
I kind of just, like, listen. We're trying to help you here. Don't do anything crazy. I'm slowly backing up while I'm saying this.
Okay.
Listen, nobody who wants to die sweats this much when they have a bomb on their chest. All right. Somebody put you in that. Somebody put you up to this. Let me.
As you continue to talk to the corporate man, you see he kind of gets on his knees and with his free hand kind of rustles around for something in his coat pocket and pulls out a scrap of paper.
One other thing. So the trigger he pulled out, is it connected by a wire to his jacket?
No, it looks like to be a
remote
goober.
detonator.
Yeah, a little detonator.
Okay.
Shift
does not have hacking capability.
I kind of whisper to Deacon, do you have any jamming devices available to you?
I only have a radio link cyber audio implant.
Shit.
And I don't think that can be much use. But he has a note in his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you guys try to discuss what to do, he opens up the note with his free hands, like trembling. Providence reigns, and then he clicks the button.
Fuck, and
Fuck.
I mean, as soon as he does it,
so
I grab Deacon and jump backwards.
Okay, so Nate and Walter, you guys are here at Daisy Duke's, talking to her.
Oh, cliffhanger.
I know, right?
Trying to figure out what you want to ask her. Have you put any thought into it, Camerahead?
Yeah. So I'm gonna be like, so our friend, we hear he frequents this bar, and I noticed there are some flyers over to the left of me, advertising to like join a new net running group online. And I noticed that the name on it seems kind of familiar, like kind of similar to the moniker that we were given at the last location. Can I make a roll to ask if that is familiar to her?
Yeah, make me a conversation check.
Cool. Concentration. There we go.
Well done.
Nice. 25.
25. Wow, very impressive. As you go ahead and I need to get this next song ready for the scene after this.
Yes, y'all did get him in the alley. And please.
So You see Daisy kind of clasps her hands together to the side, and she's like, "Oh, you mean Vespucci?"
Vespucci.
Yes.
Okay, hold on. I gotta write that down. Where's my pencil? There it is.
Well,
How do you
he
how
was
do you
here
spell that?
before, yes. V-E-S-P... fuck, I don't know, just look up Vespucci the Sailor.
Probably VSPU.
V-E-S-P-U-C-C-I.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
it's two C's.
spooky.
Yes, well,
Yeah,
I
get
guess he
off-
told me not to say anything, but he was here previously, yes. He comes by from time to time. Should I not have said that?
No, it was great information. Thank you for that.
We're just worried about our friend, you know?
Oh, I know. And that, that's why places like this are so important when it comes to getting a hot meal and a warm bed and a warm body.
Exactly. And we're lucky to have people like you, taking care of people like us.
Darlings. Anyway.
God damn it.
Should leave me and Walter alone.
He did say that there were some people looking for him.
That was probably us, but unless it was somebody in danger, is there any way, did he say anything?
Well, he didn't say if that was a good thing or a bad thing. It's usually with him it's a bad thing, but I don't know. You two seem fine.
Oh yeah, we have the best intentions.
Yeah, you seem
Make me persuasion. Nate.
Fuck!
Look at you.
One thing too much.
That's kind of low, my guy.
I know. I'm not good at talking. This is why I'm not supposed to be in this situation.
Usually when Vespucci talks about good intentions, somebody usually ends up dead. So, I don't know about that, son.
Well, I'll have you know that I can't kill anybody. All I have is a camera in my eye.
That's true, you do look very weak. Roll me persuasion.
Oh god. Come on, Walt.
Where is it?
Save my ass here.
Where's persuasion? Alright, there it is.
Oh, hell yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, well, I couldn't possibly see you bringing harm to anybody, that's true, so... I suppose I could introduce you as long as you promise to keep that video off. He doesn't like those kinds of things.
Of course, I wouldn't think about it.
Great.
As I stated, I I turn up the quality of my eye.
As you can see... I mean, it's clear, it's like lighting up.
No, never mind.
The flash is on and it's just blaring her eyes.
You turn that off and I'll turn you on later, okay?
Alright, got you. Sounds good to me.
Oh my god.
Oh,
While me
thanks,
and Matt are dying from an explosion.
And I'm over here getting
Allegedly,
offered sex.
supposedly. You saved me at the end. Hey, half of that shrapnel is gonna go in that duffel bag full of armor helmets
Yeah.
that's on your back.
I hate it because we're supposed to be protecting Shift. That's like part of the mission.
I mean, hey, that's what...
So
No, go ahead.
she goes ahead and she kind of invites you, back behind the counter,
I'm already beating my meat.
I hate you.
back to the back room.
Alrighty. Oh, I didn't see this door.
So, well, it's just like the back room. So she leads you guys back in there, and while that's happening, we'll switch really quickly.
Oh no, that's
Up a drip drip! Sorry. Came into my head again.
Good lord.
Okay. Sorry.
So, yeah, what's going on with us?
Yeah, I'm really concerned about these guys.
Sure, just let me click one thing really quickly.
Uh-oh.
Oh shit.
So, I need both of you guys to make me evasion.
Okay. Just a question.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, nice. Since I dove in front of him, does that count for anything? Like,
Yeah, go ahead and I want both of you guys to make add a +2 to the other and other modifiers.
I mean, I already rolled a critical success.
Okay, fine. You're fine then.
Woo!
Only does 24 damage.
oh, I rolled a critical.
What the fuck?
Hey.
God damn it! Why didn't I try fucking persuasion checks before he blew himself up?
Oh god. All right.
You guys, yeah. So there's an ear-ringing explosion that rocks the alleyway as you kind of jump back into the sidewalk to the side as a burst of flame just ruptures through the alleyway. Looking back in, you see just like the scorched mark of where the man was, and just the torched fire escape that's just a mangled mess.
I kind of get up and help Deacon up. That went to shit.
And Deacon's just like fucking pissed that he couldn't try to that he didn't do a better job of like reaching him, and he's just like, fuck.
As you say fuck, you guys do hear alarms, sirens blaring from a few streets over.
Let's get back to the guys.
One sec. I'm gonna look around. Is there anybody hurt around us?
Anybody hurt? No, more people are just startled than hurt.
Okay.
So you did have, at the very least, protect people, so good job there.
At least it was only one. I can sleep at least a little bit knowing that.
True. Let's meet up with the other guys, see what they're doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, do we hear this commotion?
Yeah, I was like, that's a huge explosion.
You do. So you're going into like the back room where she is, and you do hear, an explosion outside.
Oh.
Shit, I don't know if we should talk into our comms. I'd say...
Could the comms work kind of like Ghost in the Shell, where like they don't even need to move their mouths, they can just kind of like think and communicate?
I mean, you could get that eventually, but that's gonna be...
All right.
that's pretty advanced.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, there are a couple of tech things that I want to discuss later with you to see if they're possible, but we'll continue after.
So, I shoot cameraman a glance, and I kind of just am like, trying to convey, don't make a scene, don't make it obvious that we're associated with that. We've got a good thing going here, and just act like it doesn't concern us.
Because you're trying to get laid right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to fuck.
Turn me anyway. She's gonna turn me on later.
You guys make it to the back room, and you can see, it's a more of a storage area. You walk in. Oh, don't mind the mess for now. It's just follow me, and she leads you through like a series of back rooms. It looks like she might also live here, as there's like a small kitchen that she leads you through and everything.
Oh, where's the bedroom?
Can I rummage through the fridge?
I mean, if you want to.
Cool. Do I have to make a check for that?
Also, I still mentioned in tonic.
So you guys walk, and then there's the sound of a fridge opening. As Camerahead, you just open the fridge.
Yeah.
For very little reason.
I'm looking for yogurt.
What?
Make me a perception check.
I specifically want yogurt.
18. There is some new Greek yogurt there, and Daisy kind of puts a hand on her hip and is like, "Oh, what do you think you're doing?"
Yo, can I have your yogurt? I know,
Oh my
I'm
God.
a stranger and all, but can I have your yogurt?
No.
God.
What the fuck?
Making such a
Please,
bad.
please
for a
don't
while.
mind my friend. He's always very
Oh
hungry.
my God, you're ruining his attempts at getting laid so much.
What the fuck?
I shoot Camerahead a glance like, dude, you're blowing this for me.
Why'd you fucking my
I
shit up?
closed the
Dude,
fridge
don't cock
immediately.
block.
You just see this
I
like
closed the fridge immediately. Sorry.
you see this raging
I
boner in Voldeck's pants, like just diminishing.
I
Dominican.
roll a stealth check to hide my boner.
Yeah, go for it.
17.
Should
Should I
enough.
walk to it?
Okay, it helps that you're wearing Kevlar. You know, the Kevlar bodysuit kind of packs it down.
Oh, thank God.
I imagine it's kind of painful.
Yeah, it's not comfortable. Eventually, Daisy did kind of she humps a little bit and is like, "What the fuck?" But you know, continues to lead you through the building, and eventually she stops in front of a broom closet with a very like thin and tall door.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I rent out this broom closet for him. You know, he likes to do everything remotely, and she opens up the door, and you can see it's just a computer, with a monitor sitting on top of it, and you can see like things are happening on the screen, and it's clear enough, especially to you, camera, that somebody's just basically controlling this computer remotely.
Dinner's ready.
Alright.
Oh, okay.
So I guess this is what you meant by a warm bed, but what about the warm body? There's nobody in here, but there's stuff moving.
I mean, other people like warm beds and warm bodies. That wasn't just about Vespucci. But he uses this computer, and you know, he can see you. She points to the camera, obviously on the monitor. So,
Hey, Spooch, what's Gucci? No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, Vespucci, what's Gucci?
Oh wow,
Got him.
man. That is
yeah,
terrible.
you see like the equivalent of a Zoom meeting just like open up.
Oh no.
Where the fuck is the art I had for this?
I'm invading your Zoom meeting, bro. Get back.
Oh,
to
whatever.
class.
Well, anyway, you open up the yeah, you see that like a client opens up on the computer, and there's, you know, a camera and audio, and you see like on the other side somebody who clearly has very heavy modification on the front of their face. Like they don't even have a nose or a forehead or anything.
Those are very important, though.
I guess. But yeah, he opens up his mouth and speaks. Oh hey! If it isn't the fuckface that's trying to track me down.
I prefer nicer terms.
He prefers camera face, good sir.
Alright. Camera face. You guys have one chance to tell me what you want and tell me who told you to find me before I close this connection and burn this hard drive.
Well, actually, your partner was the one trying to find you.
Is it his partner?
No.
Isn't it?
This isn't the guy we're actually looking for. This is the guy who may know how to
Yeah, it's
find
like
him.
this isn't him. This is yeah.
Sorry, what was the guy's name that we were trying to find?
Chamomile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, whether or not
yes,
that's his real name.
Agent Chamomile.
Yeah.
So we won't take up much of your time. We're just kind of searching for Agent Chamomile.
We were hoping that you could-
And they told you to find me for that, of course.
Yeah.
Yep.
You seem to have the most connection with him, and the latest connection with him.
Yeah, fuck. I mean, there's a fucking million ways to locate some iced narc in this goddamn fucking town. You think it's a fucking coincidence they asked you to find me?
No, because, I mean, you're obviously notorious for being able to slink around, and you got a lot of dirt on the city, I hope.
Yeah, that's what. Why do you think they fucking... Who sent you? Was it Hard Knocks? Hibiscus? Earl Grey? Black Russian? Who the fuck was it?
I'm not
I
sure
don't know
if I can tell you that,
Yeah, we can tell you that.
but maybe.
Because I can tell you right now, there's a million ways to find some fucking dipshit agent
Well,
But if
Could
you're
you
asking
tell
me,
us maybe one of the million ways?
I was gonna say that.
yeah, any fucking half decent hacker could probably track you down with some fucking CCTV or some shit. This is, and he points the finger into the camera. This is a fucking hit job. Whoever sent you is just trying to find me while they're doing their own business. On top of it, fucking ice cream
No.
scoop on the side shit.
No, that's not it at all. I mean, we don't even need to meet you. We don't need anything from you besides a lead or a location of where Chamomile could be.
Yeah. Roll me persuasion.
Why is he doing most of the talking?
I don't know.
Yeah, I was like,
I have nothing into any talking. Help me out. Fuck!
Oh, fucking hell.
I have. Help me out, Walter.
alright, I'm gonna.
Wait. Do you have any luck?
I do.
Just use all of it.
You get it back at
What
the
if
start
I-
of the next session.
Fine.
Use all 7 luck.
I'll use 3 luck.
So 10. So yeah, he doesn't immediately close the connection. But he's like, yeah, I don't fucking buy that. Why don't you tell me who sent you so I know who's trying to kill me in my back?
Walter, you gotta say something.
Alright, so I'm gonna stop eating my yogurt that I stole from her.
Walter! Kill her head! Alright,
Cool. So I'm gonna talk to him. Alright. Let me do the talking, Voldeck, because obviously you're not getting anywhere. So listen here, what's this dude's name again? Vespucci, yeah. Vespucci. I can't exactly tell you who sent us, but I can tell you that it's very beneficial for you to give us our lead, and we'll be right out of here. You'll never hear from us again.
Yeah, roll me persuasion.
Alrighty. That's my specialty. I'm gonna get a fucking critical failure now.
Oh my god, you called it!
You fucking what? Oh my god!
You see, Vespucci has like the barest fucking trace of like a smile on his lips. Nah, I don't play by those fucking rules. I'll tell you what. Whoever you sent me, be it fucking FBI, CIA, NSA, CDC,
okay.
Oh, you're
CCCP.
using 3-letter thingies? I don't know any of those people.
Anyway, whoever the fuck sent you, I need you to do something for me. Alright, listen. Fucking whenever you're done with whatever dipshit side mission they want you to do, and they ask you where you found me, I need you. You're gonna tell them exactly what I'm gonna tell you now.
Alrighty.
Alright?
Write this down.
Now you tell them whatever fucking federal fuckface, whoever they are. Alright, you tell them I'm not in Seattle anymore. All connections are burned. Alright, you tell them you found a trace of Magellan popping up over in Siberia in some sort of fucking isolated signal out there.
Siberia. That's almost like Alaska, man.
It is.
Alright.
Alright,
Here.
you tell them that. You don't, and you fucking don't bring up Daisy Duke or anybody into this shit. You tell them that and know nothing
Why
else.
would we bring this beautiful, gorgeous, stunning, voluptuous, great woman into the...
She's
As long
still
as she
there.
brings me up.
Oh, I know. I say this out loud.
Roll me.
You
Roll
used
me-
like, I think you used like too many adjectives.
I need you to roll me bribery.
You sound like a real simp right now.
What a
Simping in 2048
wait,
is
what am I
real
rolling?
next level.
You cut out.
Your own bribery.
Bribery! Okay.
bribery. He was like, "Why would I bring her up? She's supposed to bring me up."
I mean, yeah, she's there. She blushes for sure. She doesn't say anything though.
Okay.
Anyway, Vespucci keeps talking. You do that for me, and I'll tell you where you can find your goddamn agent. Just because it'll be so fucking easy. It takes me 15 minutes.
Alright, deal. Thank you.
All right, great. You can hear the sounds of a keyboard typing for a few minutes, and then he just kind of clicks his teeth. All right, Camlyle? You mean fucking Bryce Davis?
Bryce
Yeah, alright.
Davis.
I got an APB on a Bryce Davis. Looks like he was making his rounds a few weeks ago before he got picked up by the Renegades. I have the video footage here. And he kind of, Camerahead, you see that, in your eye, there's like a click sound before a video is sent directly into your, like, vision. So remotely.
You know I had cyber optics, bro. You're cool as fuck. Oh, it's because I turned them on outside, isn't it?
You watch as it looks like there's like a Jeep that pulls up on a sidewalk with a few people in it, and you see that kind of whoever this guy is, some nondescript guy in a suit, kind of looks both ways before getting into the vehicle, and it takes off.
Alright, so Shift and Deacon were like outside. They were meeting up with us, right? Did they see this?
Yeah, they're on their way back to Daisy Dukes.
Hold on.
But one last thing, Magellan's like, yeah, here's your video of him getting kidnapped with air quotes. So looks to me like it's the Renegades over by Elliott Bay, if you ask me.
Oh.
Cool.
Now take that shit and don't forget what I told you. And he shuts off the connection. And then, like 2 seconds later, the computer just starts bursting into flames.
What a waste of tech. But alright,
Yeah,
we
for
got our
real.
lead.
Okay, so we got Bryce. What was the name?
Davis.
Bryce Davis. Got to tell boss that he went to Siberia, and
Renegade.
we've got Renegades.
what
And
day
now,
was it?
for the more important business,
Whoa,
is
what
you,
day,
sweet
what day was
cheeks.
it? Wait.
God damn it.
Wait, what was the name of the bay that he was last seen near?
Elliott Bay.
Yeah.
You see, I mean, Daisy's like trying to like pad out the fire with like a blanket. Just beat it out.
That's not
Put your hand on hers and be like, let me do that.
Don't worry.
Meanwhile,
You'll need that for later.
meanwhile, me and Shift have like gotten to the place and we're just outside, like
Yeah.
just like
So-
drinking a milkshake.
You enter the bar, and there's like an automated system for when she's not there that you can get drinks at. But you see the very nice place with all the pictures and the old nostalgic stuff from her band, as well as like the hot pink electric guitar that sits like above the bar,
Alright,
like
fine.
some prized possession.
So
I go up to the little like electronic thing. How much for a shot of vodka?
Yeah, you see there's like a little hollow screen there with prices, and it's like 2 eddies for a shot of
I
vodka.
immediately pay that and chug it.
Okay, yeah, you see the table, there's like a wharf from underneath the counter before a slot opens and your drink just kind of elevates up. Yeah, so Daisy, to you and Nathan, she looks at the computer and she's just like, let's just head back. I'm tired.
Yeah, let's head
that's not a
back.
good sign.
Head back where?
Oof.
To
where
the
we head
store, to the public part of my house.
Okay. I shoot her a little wink. In a ditch effort.
Yeah, you're
she-
trying
she,
way
like-
too hard.
Yeah, she like sighs and fans herself a little bit. And not like a sigh like she's fawning over it, but more she's like tired and knows what the fuck you want.
Damn.
Oh, man, you really
Um,
fucked that.
I mean, she didn't say no.
Was it because of the yogurt?
Probably.
Yeah,
Oh,
probably because of
you're-
the yogurt. While I'm drinking something, I'm gonna like radio them and be like, "So how are things on your end, guys?"
Yeah, well, so you see like the 3 of them kind of come back from behind the back room. Camerahead and Voldeck and this lady here, as you see her in this picture. And you two see obviously Shift and Jack Deacon drinking something at the counter.
I roll up and I clink my drink with Deacon's. Say, how's your end going, guys? I take a little sip.
And while he's sipping, I say, "He blew up."